You know, we blend in. You know, you can't just go to work and I realize that. You know, you gotta blend in. You can't just be like dropping gems at work about spirituality and stuff. People get mad and comfortable. They probably want to send you home. You wouldn't be able to finish your shift. You know what I mean? Or like you just be feeling weird. It's still there though, and they just act like you didn't really say. You know, they just gonna act like you didn't say some of the realest shit ever. I'm gonna get you straight to it. Roll up something. Roll up something. But yeah. Trying to keep this bitch charged. Do one of these. Yeah. Let's talk about the Super Bowl of shit. Let's talk about that diarrhea's worth of Super Bowl. I don't. First of all, you know, real motherfucking spirits don't really give a. We don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to knock. I ain't knocking nothing. But just know, real motherfuckers don't give a fuck about that shit. When you in the actual like life, most people just trying to survive each day, get through the day and stuff. Like when you start getting, yeah, that's why like each day becomes more cherishable because you're not guaranteed shit. So you could die right now, any minute, any second. So it becomes more important, like what you want to spend your last seconds of life doing. There's nothing wrong with going to work and stuff, but some people overly do that, and then they lack balance in their life. But this video is not about that. But yeah, that. So what I was just saying, yeah, that applies with the really everything. Like everything I say could be relevant in some kind of way. You know what I mean? It's all intertwined. Like it's all connected. It's not like shit ain't really separate. That's what the native mentality understands. Like the native mind understands. Like we're all here. You know what I mean? Like everything here makes up what it is. So it's not about trying to shy away from anything or hide or conceal or think it's you own it or any of that shit, because that's all illusions. Everything that you think you have was given to you by God, all possibilities, the Great Spirit, Wakantaka, you know what I mean? So, or if it was the Navajo, it'd be the Dene. But the European Washihu kind of mind would be the Goth Odin, whatever creature, God thing, Thor, you know, all that type of shit. As far as they Norse gods and shit, all that kind of shit. Pretty much what I'm saying is, how can any one side be more important than the other, and when both coincide with each other? So it's just a lot of shit that I knew was off as a when I wasn't so who I am now and stuff. Because this is who I am who I am. Like I always been like this, but I wasn't so I was a lot more on guard before. But now I know why, because all this shit is like a facade for real, and people just trying to create little scenarios, and they may have certain objects that they materialize that might be backed and supported by maybe certain qualities of this realm, but they don't really hold no significant like spiritual energies or credibility. And if it do, they stole it and plagiarized it. Where you know what I mean? They're using that from the natives. to back and support whatever it is. Like C's Candy, for example, right? Chocolate and shit. Take away the words, that's just a resource. Before motherfuckers is calling it chocolate or a specific brand or company or family that produces and manufactures chocolate, right? Niggas didn't even have chocolate before, so it's like, how you gonna come to the place where Willy Wonka has the warehouse factory making all the chocolate, and y'all just come in and start dictating and just disobeying the Willy Wonka rules and shit of the warehouse of the home. That's pretty much what they did. They made a whole like every movie they made was just them telling on themselves about how they like ripped off the natives, or how they just like bum rushed in to somebody else's house, or how they finessed, or how they trying to get over and turn mama's house into a trap house, or whatever the case may be, or Big Mama's house. All kind of shit. And that could just be they specific starting points of they thoughts and feelings that don't really got to do with everybody else as a collective. And not like everybody is a collective, but each individual being matches, or each person could really come up with their own shit. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to shed and get out of a lot of stuff, but in the meantime, Dolo the Pilot Man videos have reminded me about a lot of things, and there's maybe certain things I wasn't so aware of before, as far as how to word things or connect the dots. But this was these were a lot of substances I was already aware of, but just maybe didn't have the correct starting point as far as how to say these things and know what I'm talking about when I say it. You know what I mean? So, and also know what other people are saying and where they coming from. So now I could like fly and navigate for everybody involved and shit, for myself and others. I could like do what I need to do for me and make sure other people don't run into each other, or like at least try to, if I'm around, like, hey, y'all are, this is, you know what I'm saying? I can't control people. People are gonna do what they want to do, and people are gonna do what they do and shit. But y'all kind of get what I'm saying. Like your presence is valuable, and just some, often you being around and shit can like save lives. Is what I'm saying. Everybody else is on some other tangent that ain't really in nature. Like, or ever, they ain't never been in nature, like, so I can't make this shit up. Like, I wouldn't be talking like the way I am if I wasn't who I actually am, who I really am, which is Dakota. Like, I'm like a whole collection of them peoples and stuff, or bears or something, or deers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, the Super Bowl, man. That's a whole witchcraft. I'm not trying to really go too much into that. As far as like I don't take none of that shit serious. That's what the fuck I'm on right now. I mean, I worked the Super Bowl. I got me a little gig that I came across. It was really a temporary thing. It was for the night type shit, but yeah, I just needed. I was doing dishwashing at this particular restaurant where they had the Super Bowl on. You know what I mean? So I didn't really get to watch it, nor did I care to really watch it. But I got to kind of listen. It was in the background, which was different. You know what I'm saying? But also pleasant. I was able to do my work, focus on being there, do my job, make some money type shit. So I got paid to do, to like be a part of like the Super Bowl event this year. I didn't like not participate, but I didn't really add on or contribute to like giving a fuck about the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Even if I might have showed others that character, there might have been some shit that they was just in, but I wasn't necessarily being that like I really give a fuck. And it's all native hobbyism, so I'll be really more and more aware now, like, oh yeah, all this shit is plagiarizing dead natives and shit. People such as myself that, came back to life. other native Indians that know that they was here at one time and came back to life. You know what I mean? Died and came back to life. Like, I've been here before. Like, you've been here forever. So I was like, what the fuck? Where do you think you're going? But yeah, there probably are some creatures that I'm not gonna go into that segue of thought. But the Super Bowl performance, man. All right, man. Fucking. I'm not even gonna give these cats too much credence and too much like importance, like because I said none of them like ain't nobody shit. All these dudes were just puppets and being controlled by people behind the curtains, behind the doors, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Truman Show vibes, putting on this, whoever orchestrated the stages and all them, the formations and star formation specifically. Since we're talking about celebrities, right? Stars, celebrated blood cells. So yeah, it's like they just doing a whole bunch of like star formations and for constructing people's minds and shit, and using these characters to go about it. It'd be the same fucking story though, same narrative. Natives and shit, usually about the natives and stuff. Like SZA was the damsel in distress. Seems like Kendrick Lamar was got like some U.S. cavalry dude, blue coat motherfucker. A whole lot goes into a whole bunch of other shit. But the Uncle Sam shit, we already know. Goddamn, what was that? Samuel Jackson or whatever. We already know he was in goddamn. He already know that he was a house motherfucker since he was in Django. Yeah, man. Since he was bruh in Django, so he was already bruh from Django. Like that wasn't surprising to me, but it's kind of weird to see like a snakes on the plane. It was kind of weird to see snakes on the plane up wearing, and goddamn wearing like Uncle Sam outfit. You know what I mean? If you've been watching the Dolo the Pilot Man long enough, you can just see all the shit they be copying from bruh, and then they go put it in an event or put it on TV or something like some shit or lie about it, NASA or like whatever the fuck it's gonna be. So all this shit be like real interesting, just observing what's going on. Like now, I went and watched it on YouTube yesterday. Yeah, that nigga Ken, they had that nigga Ken, that nigga Kendrick was stepping his little, he was stepping his little feet away. That nigga was stepping his feet all over that goddamn stage. It wasn't all bad. I like the little part about probably the dudes that were from the Bay on the little by the lamp, up under the light. Huh. Man. But straight coonery, buffoonery. They all got paid to be there. Kendrick Lamar doesn't make no sense. Like his music don't make sense. Anybody that's from the hood or like anybody in real life knows like a lot of this shit don't be, it be like all kind of contradictions and, you know what I mean? So everybody pretty much like this whole shit is like everybody be self-reflecting in whatever kind of magnitude. And yeah, it's like it's just weird, But shout out to them, you know what I mean? They did their thing or whatever. It's straight buffoonery, dude. Like Cooney Island, man. George Cooney, man. Like, why are the athletes and the artists getting paid more than people like teachers and shit? And why is the education system like ass right now? Went down the drain after like the mid 2000s, like 2010s and shit. Like education started going downhill after like Obama and shit, 2008. But it was not to say it was Obama's fault, but I'm just saying that was the time period that I noticed like certain things about hearing shit about, oh yeah, they're coming back on the arts class, or you know what I mean, teachers aren't getting paid as much, certain teacher strikes, or little teacher meetings that our teacher would go have with each other and shit in the middle of like class. We have a substitute teacher for like 30 minutes to an hour or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Football, like that whole concept of sports, like spore. So we're talking about cultures and cultivating. We're talking about agriculture. We talk about, when you hear the word culture, people should automatically now start to think about agriculture. Put that together. Put those two and two, like those are, when you hear culture or people's culture, we're talking about agriculture. This is what the natives was well aware of. We're talking about agriculture. You know what I'm saying? Knowing the land, knowing how to craft the mind, knowing how your mind correlates with the ground and the firmament that you stand on. You know, if you stand for, you don't stand, what's it? Stand for something, or you fall for anything, right? Fall for nothing, like. So it's just about like knowledge of self, really, like really being aware of thyself, which none of these people are even in the position of doing so for real, because they already got so many distractions around them and other people in their ear. So they really just be puppets. With all that money and shit, and can't even really do, then they don't even really be like no real like influence for real. I don't want to say influence, but they don't be no like real, like, yeah, they don't be no like real force. Not force, not trying to force something, but they don't be a real like state of being. You know what I mean? That people could like recognize and see, like, all right, that's some real shit. Whether it's viewed as good or bad, like they already in some synthetic manufactured script kind of like template. But the sports, spore, plants, like a spore, the flowers and shit, spore. So that's really what. And if y'all remember that example, like it'd be like movies and shit, or certain shows. It's like a white man kind of concept, like they say some shit like to the kids or something, or to anybody, like good job, sport, or being a good sport. That example, being a good sport. So that's like a good seed or something. They look at you like a good sport. Being a sport, they grow people. They like literally plant seeds in the mind, and they look at it like they're growing people to be who they are, because they're God. Like that's how they look at it. Like they think they're God, and like they had to raise people because people don't know how to do it for themselves. And like the people on stage and shit. Like what's stopping any of these cats from going to create their own little league or something? You know what I'm saying? Or supporting another somebody like Ice Cube or something, or anybody. You know what I'm saying? And then creating their own league. Like the LeVar Ball cat, the daddy did. Well, them people were probably backed by Masons, but they was kind of on point. As far as like the Triple Bs. Going with the Triple Bs league and stuff. But like other rappers and like certain people, like people that got a certain status and following, you know what I mean, and they go support like another celebrity that got some shit going like that, some independent type of shit, building a nation. Like what's stopping people from doing that? Probably ego and the logic of things, probably another man's money being on the face of the dollar bill. So you can't just they ain't just gonna like let you do that necessarily. You can, You know, you gotta at least try. You never know. They might just want you to do that. You know what I mean? So they don't gotta keep pushing the NBA shit. It'd be something else. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, it's not just McDonald's and shit. They got what, McDonald's, Burger King, Ins and Outs. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like they very much so willing to work with people. You know what I'm saying? It's just they gonna own all the benefits if you do it in they shit. And you ain't gonna really die like having a legacy. Even if you do die and shit, you might have like Michael Jordan, for example. That nigga is gonna just die just like everybody else. They own that shit. They got his ass. You know what I mean? Now Michael Jordan could go start another, like, what's stopping Michael Jordan from starting like a little hoop league or something? You know what I mean? I realize like somebody like me try to do it, it ain't gonna be the same. You know what I mean? I ain't really in this world, or I mean I'm in this world, but I ain't really of it. So like I have a lot of ideas and shit, more like being the atmosphere. So I ain't really like I be doing shit, but I ain't the main like person that's like gets, you know what I'm saying, like way there's other people that get way more, some accumulation because they already in some type of like religion, you know what I mean, that grouping of demons and shit all just recycling each other type of energies. I really be in my own position, like to the neck. So but there be other beings there too. I'm not just alone, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just making a point like a lot of people are heavily dependent on others just to get through they day each day. Otherwise, they mentally they wouldn't even know what to do. Yeah, they couldn't get on. They can't get online like this, talk for hours about some real shit. Nothing. They just be like, they gotta listen to a handler or somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like Kanye West. Shout out to Kanye West. He got creative abilities, but in a lot of ways, you can see where he be having weaknesses or weak points type shit where I ain't gonna talk about him, he flunked, but y'all, like, you get what I'm saying, like everybody really we supposed to be working with each other, you know what I mean, especially if people been supporting these certain type of artists or musicians or characters that are, been important and shit like that, like Soldier Boys or Chief Keef or Kendrick Lamar's, SZA, I know she was on stage and shit, the actors and shit, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Denzel Washington or yeah, Samuel Jackson's. You know what I mean? Instead, you got Samuel Jackson was been doing the Capital One, the credit. You know what I'm saying? So Samuel Jackson is a white dude. That's a coon. You know what I mean? He a coon, bro. Now he getting a bag. You know, he getting a bag to boast and put on the Sambo act. You know what I mean? Just another, just more MC Hammers. You know what I mean? But just more MC Hammers. And that Abraham, Hamism. So a lot of them spirits go back to like the African, the African over there and stuff, and they got conquered and defeated and shit, converted over. So that's all the white man been doing, just like taking over people's land and then converting people. You know what I mean? Covenant orders and shit. That's just a big old covenant party. And their end game is just to get everybody on the same, like, in their world, it seems like, yeah, they think like they got it as something that acts and moves all at the same time, like some one being body thing, like just some one thing, just one thing, like somehow. So that's how they look at it, like they gotta just control everything because everything is supposed to move in some type of orderly logic. Just not even, they don't even know what actual life is yet. People just going along with shit. Yeah, man, this is weird, you know what I mean? Yeah, fuck all that shit. And oh yeah, but and they also what, like they gave fucking Kendrick, like he got Grammys and shit too, like right before all this. So you can just, for those that really know how to look at shit, you can see like everything is just, it's just more agenda and it's just more of the same just native hobbies and practices and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Eagles, the Chiefs, like come on, the Chiefesses, whatever. You know, like I feel disrespected. Like where's my money at? Like where's my money at? This one got it got the Dolo deer on there. Like so where's my bread at? And these cats don't want to break bread with the actual energy that they be getting all this external type of like safety, security, and shelter or power or whatever, like whatever the idea is. I don't even know if they even got some like man. I'm convinced these motherfuckers be off of whatever new drug it is that they finna put out next. Like that's how I'm thinking. Like they offer the newest drug behind the scenes, and then they just didn't put it out yet because it's too strong or something. And, you know, a lot of, so they gotta like dial it down and shit. They gotta water it down a little bit before they put it out. You know what I mean? Like fentanyl or like codeine, cough syrups, and you know methamphetamines and you know oxycodones and you know you got liquid morphines and I just seen some was like a auto repair building, but on the side of it, it was like a legitimate building, calling it some like they just promoting their shit, like called Liquid Molly. I was like, what the fuck, Liquid Molly? This is like for vehicles and shit. So somewhere in the esoteric realm, in the mind somewhere, there's like Liquid Molly that people be off of. You know what I mean? I might be one of them at times, on accident. Yeah, I didn't know it. It was like Molly on the champagne. No, I didn't even know it. Or whatever. Yeah, it might be in the food or something. So y'all just be careful, man. This is like they really are crafting people again. It's agriculture, so like they took it from they stripped all the natural resources of the land and they made some synthetic world, like adjacent or off to the side of that, like off white and motherfucking it's still it might look like it's still here in the real reality, but it's really some separate like made up shit that is biased only to the you know what I mean the main tours of it, the main tours of it, wherever they sit at. You know what I'm saying? It's probably in a real low spirit, like really low spiritual position, and it might play out like they might be nowhere in sight. They so high in the 3D out here, you don't even know where they at. That's how like they ain't gotta do shit. They don't even like people out here thinking or talking like this. We get double shadow banned, you know. They get like 0-0, like just like you know what I mean. Like there's just the stalemate going on. Like both teams are just standing in the middle field. Neither of them is hiking the ball. The ref is not calling any. Like the time ain't started yet. Yeah, it's like some shit outside of time. Yeah, it's not just because it's not a game. It's not a game. So that's why I'm realizing more. So like, I might use video game metaphors and shit in the past, but I got rid of a lot of video games that I was probably lost into at one point. You know, I was like, you know what, I got to be a man. So I got rid of a lot of video games and shit. You know, but yeah, this shit is serious. This shit is serious, man. It's light though. It's not like too serious, but this shit ain't no like you just like brush it off like you finna just like a lot of people think they're not coming back, like they think they just finna dust off or something, like so they just doing whatever and they just doing the most, like just doing it's like must be a brand new spirit or something, like they just think they just do whatever and get away with it and like not have to pay no repercussions for themselves, because it's what you're creating for your own life. Ain't got shit to do with nobody else. This is how you're making your own bodies. So this is some shit, man. I made my own mistakes, but I'm here to like kind of release. And if it's like if I keep doing certain things, then that's when I know, like that's where I'm creating organ implosion. Where once better, you're supposed to do better. You know what I mean? Why keep jumping back in that sin? or in that old state of being, and you trying to go back into it, like relight, realive it. And it's, you can't alive something that's unalive. You can't realive the unalive. So it's like this is where you get lost. You just get more lost into yourself instead of getting out of shit, and expanding and releasing and separating. You know what I mean? So it starts in the mind first. You know what I mean? First, it starts with just you not being shit as a spirit. Just you ain't shit really. So it really starts with that, accepting like whether a spirit can accept the fact that they ain't shit, like in the grand scheme of things. You know what I'm saying? Which I would think you would want to acknowledge, because you was a baby at one point. You didn't fucking have no clue about whatever it is you think you're doing now. Being a little butthole baby that just popped out of popped out of a butthole, and your parents was fucking just for you to be here. They wasn't getting paid to fuck, most likely. They wasn't getting paid. They probably wanted to do it. And they was attracted to each other or something. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Their tempers were matching, or their temperatures were matching at that time. Now, maybe that time, maybe that changed at some point. But yeah, a lot of y'all butthole babies, if y'all can just remember, like, I popped out of a butthole at one point. I might not remember exactly the whole process of, you know what I mean? All the ins and outs and actually doing it. But I'm here. And you see other babies pop out of buttholes. You might not be in the hospital, but you can imagine it. Because a baby in a stroller or something, a mom pushing her baby around. Like, there's a lot of there's other creatures here, flowers, trees, ants, bugs, blah 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 blah. It's like daily reminders by life, the thing that you're in. A lot of people are trying to be like outside, like bigger than life, as a tiny ass fucking human, and then you just get smaller and smaller and smaller because you think you're above shit, and that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. You gotta participate. But sometimes it just that means like send the fuck down and not getting all caught up in the mix of things, because that's not your business. So you could very much so mind your own business and create your own presence and focus on that, and focus on what you need to work on internally and things of that nature. So that way when you go, because you ain't going nowhere, but as you keep creating, your reality begins to change, your experiences begin to change, or at least your focus on what you're focused on, your more broadness of the possibilities of what you could, I guess, what you could create in any given moment, think, thoughts, and feelings, right? So it's like that's how I look at it. Like, I'm constantly dying and constantly living and creating a new mind every second, because I'm not thinking the same how I was like a second ago or 2 seconds ago. Like, I'm the same, like I'm me, but you know what I mean? I'm not the past me. That motherfucker's gone and gone and gone and gone. It's like this would like natives understand. Like, this what natives grasp. Like, if I'm if I'm to understand anything, is the atmosphere, because that shit is over me, or it's a part of it. It's not really understanding, or it's not even about trying to. It's just about knowing where you stand and creating that. That way you don't even gotta have. You don't gotta stand over nobody. You don't gotta stand under nobody. You don't gotta stand inside inner stand. You don't gotta like stand in somebody or in yourself, or you can have your own inner stance. I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying? Y'all, you create your own. You create your own mechanism. When you know, okay, this is the overall mechanism. Let me create something that is a healthy, correct, like match or correspondence or ID. This would be like your real identity, or identity or face card, or identical. How people, like, you know what I'm saying, know who you are and shit based upon like what you pay attention to and shit, and whether you acting on what you say you do and things of that nature, not just talking. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of people in these leadership positions. They be just talking, like, or just certain people just in positions, period, that have certain like What do you, how you, cause I don't even like, I'm tired of using these words like star status or power or like attraction, just because this is just things people do in general. Like we create and generate attraction. This is the real laws of attraction. You know what I mean? So when you just anybody and everybody just on a, it's like music or music, different range of tones and different sounds. Not everybody's supposed to be a B sharp. Not everybody's supposed to be an A minor. Things of that nature. It's supposed to be a well-oiled machine. Everybody's supposed to have their part that they know. And when you don't know your part, this is where things get out of order. This is where things get out of whack. You know what I mean? Because I played basketball, so I dealt with this a lot of times. Niggas didn't know their position and what play to run, or just people just didn't match. Maybe niggas just didn't match as a group. You know what I mean? A certain groupings, because you know what I mean, or whoever's on the team and the coach was retarded, not being. Man, I could go into a whole bunch of shit, but just knowing like positions, when to move, when not to move. This is what the native understood, and then like that goes into like astrology, like natural, just the knowingness of astrology and having just the true wisdom of astrology, without any, like really without any, if there was no English and there was nobody that taught me anything. This is just something I would have naturally been into, because I'm here. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm here, dude. I would have to fucking, okay, I would have started having, okay, yeah, whatever the fuck, right? Other people would have been there. It was a different thing going on. All this shit, this is all like extra shit, bro. This is safe. This is not even reality. This is like some safe way type shit. That's why they'd be like, people be like, all right, be safe. Like that's not really good. That's not, yeah, that's a quality in life, but if everything's just safe all the time, nobody's growing. Nobody's being challenged. Nobody's having to endure anything. Nobody's having to like shed and release and go through pain or take a shit. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of the times you actually growing up and starting to step into who you are is by accepting the fact that you're not in control, and things that you gotta that you might think are bad are actually really good. It might actually be the best. That might actually be good. The best thing for you. You know what I'm saying? Might be the best thing that ever happened to you. You might think it's some bad shit, but you gotta like change your perspective of how you look at shit. You know what I mean? It's easier said than done, but you gotta like, once you catch a wave, catch a little flow, a rhythm, you gotta stay on that shit, because it's easy to like let yourself go and then get back on a similar tangent. You know what I mean? And not be like on still at point, so like on point, or you be behind still. You think you up to speed or some shit. So it's a lot of variables the average person just doesn't even be aware of. So they go watch Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Don't get me started, bro. I'm finna go in right now, man, because it's not even like I'm venting, but this is just like facts. All right, because I be cooking food, right? I'm a chef. I'm a chef. I'm a chiefess, and chefs. You know what I mean? Or all this shit is like native hobbyism every day. The sous chef, right? Wow. Just think about everybody just being in that energy, but it's aggressive. It's like war, go to war, competition, gladiator games. Everybody's in pain. Clearly, everybody's lying to themselves, but people are having a good time. Eating good glizzies and dog body parts and private parts of the dog and pork possession, pork parts and all kind of just yeast in the bread, pretzels and yeast buns. Oh, don't get me started. Yeast broche, the little broche, little big puffy bun. Oh, those are good. Those will fucking kill you, dude. Those will kill niggas, bro. This is shit I used to like eat, bro. And then I realized at one point, let me like get rid of all that. I might partake a little, like cheese off. Like they did bring pizza when we were working in there. I had some like cheese. You know what I mean? A little bit of the cheese off the top of the, like the slice of the pizza, a couple slices of pizza I had. I didn't even eat the bread. You know what I mean? Because I like pizza, but I was like, man, I can't really. But, you know, when your body's, it's like they make drugs, man. They turn people into like real fiends. Like everybody's like a fiend to some degree. Like you're a dope fiend. Whether it's actual drugs or it's the food that you're consuming or soda or bread. A lot of people are off bread and sugar, 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 salt, salt. Those are the main two. I guess you could call it ingredients, but those are the main two or minerals or whatever, right? Or the fuck would you call it? I guess yeah, ingredients or products. You know what I'm saying? So we create all this shit right in the mind first, but salt and sugar are like the main two things. That's the two things that all food breaks down to. I learned that in community college. You know what I'm saying? In class. Fuck college, but that's one thing I did get out of it. That was practical, useful. Out of that health class I took, and I was like, man, fuck this shit. Afterwards, I was like, that's it. It was an easy class too. The teacher, she had a curriculum to teach, but she made it real easy for us to like pass the class and shit. It was hell easy. It was still kind of challenging. It was, it was a challenge. It wasn't like totally easy. I still had to do some shit, but overall though, like it wasn't like hard for me because I know like, she made it real easy and she gave us answers and all kind of stuff. And that's how it should be. Like that makes your mind want to retain the information more. Like why do they make people struggle to try to like figure out some shit, especially people that maybe don't grasp it or comprehend things the best. And I'm not saying that's me, but there's a lot of people that wouldn't like they would have maybe failed that class. You know what I mean? Even with all the help, you know what I mean? They still would have like not because their body wasn't. You know what I mean? It might have been some fat ass motherfucker. They might have failed, bro, just because their mind was like not. They couldn't relate to the class. They probably wouldn't even be in that class to begin with. You know what I mean? Like type shit. But yeah, that's what the main shit breaks down to. Salt and sugar. Like everything just breaks down to salt and sugar. That's what your body runs off of to make like. But all this is going on in the mind first. So like where the mind go, the body go. You're really creating certain like thoughts and feelings that lead to that light or that awareness bending in on itself to become a certain, like adrenaline, blood flow stream. You know what I mean? Kind of like chemistry, alchemy going on, where you're pumping blood cells and creating shit. You're creating your organs and shit, your tissues. Once all that comes together, it's like you're doing this like. So like, when you think about 9 months is like really nothing. When you've been like, if you do this, like if you just do this forever, what is 9 months? You know what I'm saying? That's like 9 seconds. And that's very much how long it could have been. You could have been in the womb for like 9 seconds spiritually. Then you popped out. You were born. That shit was 9 months. And this, you know what I'm saying? Out here, everybody already being born and shit. That's crazy. People don't even like. People would hear that. They don't even like. Their mind ain't even really going there and shit. Yeah, they think you talking crazy or something. Like they more concerned about watching football and who's gonna win the game and really believing all the words and the spells and the. Oh yeah, what's the score? Oh yeah, the Eagles just scored. They just scored a touchdown. Hey man, chicken wings. You want some chicken wings? Hey man, pizza. Hey, there's pizza over there. If anybody wants pizza. Anybody want a drink? Red Bull? Oh, hey, the only thing. Hey, sorry man, we don't got like regular Red Bull. All we got is sugar free. That's fine. Niggas are like, yeah, that's fine. Red Bull. I don't mind sugar free. Doing dishes, man. Just like kind of a geeky white dude. He was cool, but he was kind of like, he was kind of a nerd. I could tell just in his like his speech. He probably ain't like had too many experiences in certain areas of life. He probably had a bunch of experiences in his timeline of events, but certain like street, like like real life stuff. I could tell who, like, all right, these people ain't really did, like they ain't never like ever had to like steal from a store because they were hungry, for example. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never had to like do no shit like that, like ever in their life, like not as a kid, like never, nothing. So they were always like, what I'm saying? So everybody's just where they at. It's not like a good or a bad thing. It's just everybody's where they at. And this is all like a social experiment. That's how I look at it. Like none of this shit is real, and they playing like the real most high lostness of trying to play God and practice like these little experiments on everybody, which is so wrong. Just sit back and watch and just do numbers and shit, and then do another lab run test. Like, what kind of weirdo are you just to sit back and watch people live life, and then you try to play like as if you ain't one of the, like you ain't in life either. Like, you trying to act like you ain't in life, and you just God over people because you got some money and some position or some type of shit that you might have been born into, or your forefathers and shit they started after they had to slaughter a bunch of like natives and shit. So like who's really in charge? You know what I mean? If everything is about us and the natives and the people, who's really in charge? And this is what I be trying to like remind people. You know what I mean? So when you don't know how you grew up or where you come from, or the root or the seed or the root of who you are and shit, like on some like this is some like your family tree lineage, like on some spiritual shit, your spiritual predecessory ancestry. I don't like to really say ancestry, but your lineage of where you come from, your states of being and shit, and your families and what's familiar to you and shit. And shit like that. Everybody's different. Some people they're not from here though. That's the crazy part. I'm not gonna go into that, but it's like real shit, and all y'all come together, and that's supposed to be who you are. And that's how you create bodies for real. And all y'all supposed to like play a part of the overall body that we in, and then that body is in a world where it's participating with other bodies and shit, and so forth. So we're never like you're never alone. Like we're in a body right now. It might have died, or I'm not gonna go into that timeline, that conversation. But we're in a body though. You know what I'm saying? Like this, as far as this atmosphere, let's just stay there, and we're not gonna go beyond that. The atmosphere, you got a body that's made up of cells and stuff, and you go. This is how I thought. Like, all right, I got a bunch. They say we got all right, billions and trillions of cells, whatever, make up your body. Then I look outside, and I said, oh, okay. And then they say, yeah, there's like billions and trillions of dollars. Oh, I mean, people and stuff. Like billions and trillions of dollars that really might belong to the natives after they claimed all the resources and like got everybody fighting each other. And slaving for what's really ours and shit because the natives made everything as far as over here on this western hemisphere side, and whatever they did over there, we could go see what is over there, see if there's anything producing like that's producing over here, or they just might have decimated everything, created deserts, Sahara deserts and shit, and like Yemens and you know what I mean? Afghanistan's and Iraq's and stuff. Like those probably used to be places where it was trees and all kind of fruits and stuff. And then you know what I mean? And they just like went, you know what I mean? Went and fuck shit up over there. I don't think a desert is a natural thing. I think God created everything to be fruitful and trees and everything. God didn't start out Genesis in the Bible talking about, yeah, blah 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 blah. It was a desert. Yeah, it was all dry. It was sand. It was sandy. And, at the beginning, it was just desert and dryness and absence of life. I didn't see that at the beginning of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Now everything in the Bible's all about the natives and shit. You know, everything about the natives, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like that Bible also correlates to like the mind and like how we come into being and shit. How you be aware of yourself. So I don't remember nothing about the Not to say that there aren't deserts in the Bible. I ain't saying that, but I'm just talking about when they say at the beginning, who's beginning? You know, not to get lost into that, because that's all. It's all like witchcraft and shit. But I'm just making a point. They would talk about hovering over the waters and let there be light and hovering over the waters and shit. And then start out with let there be a desert in absence of life and no water. I didn't see that part at the beginning of the Bible. Let there be no water. Let it be dry. Camels. Let it be dry in the sands casino and palm trees and no water around and everybody's thirsty and people just came out of like I don't know, people were just born out of the desert sand with no water somehow. I didn't see that in the Bible. Last time I checked, that is not how the shit started. Yeah, not to say that the Bible is the overall word. That's just somebody else's starting point, but it's based off a mechanism that the natives understood, or like people understand. If you pay attention, this is what you'll just know about life if you're paying attention, or you know thyself. You know what I'm saying? Or you developed them, or you had a healthy upbringing, some kind of something. You've been here before. You probably talking like this. If you ain't been here before, you ain't. You might be talking like, you want to go listen to. Like, I don't know, fucking Sauce Walker or something. Go listen to Sauce Walker. Shout out to Sauce Walker. Nothing wrong with Sauce Walker, but there's people out there that they want to go like, go skiing or snowboarding. That's all they want to do. Like, they not even do nothing creative while they're doing that, at least. Yeah, not even like snowboarding or skiing in some type of creative aspect. No, they just like do it in some dry ass way. Like, all right, here we are, skiing and snowboarding. Yeah, got people all kind of money and stuff. They going to jail and stuff. For what? Yeah, why all these niggas going? Y'all gotta think like, how do all these niggas with millions of dollars and shit either like end up dead too soon, or what I mean, like overdoses or whatever the case may be, getting killed by the ops or whoever the fuck, or who knows, other mysterious ways people just got killed and shit maybe by record labels and all kind of aspects that are possible, right? I'm not gonna dive into all those. A lot of people went to jail. A lot of niggas are in jail right now. A lot of rappers and niggas in jail right now. R. Kelly, you got R. Kelly's, Fetty Wap's, fucking Lil Durk, Lil Durkio, Lil Durkio, fucking Thug. They put Thug on house arrest. You know what I'm saying? He caught the Rico and shit. Trying to be a beautiful thugger, just trying to be easy breezy beautiful thugger, flipping whatever he was doing and stuff, and YSL and all that. They try to like turn him into some gang army militant street mob family that it was just the most heinous group ever type of activity. They're not like the American Pie family, mafia Godfather. Now we ain't talking about like nobody worse than the Godfather guys that patrol the streets every day and ask you what you're doing when you're just picking up maybe just picking up some trash. You try to throw it away. You know what I mean? Like, you got police harassing me picking up trash. And I tell them like, and I give them a reason like, well, really this can I seen was like Rising Star on there, and had a little star, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna hang up an ornament. There's trees around here, so I'm gonna hang up an ornament, and I'm the Rising Star. He's like, oh, okay. And just kind of went about his business. He probably didn't even really get what I was saying. He probably thought maybe something else. Probably judged me. All kind of perspectives. I don't give a fuck. That's between him and his own maker. But the point of what I'm saying is like, well, he was trying to maybe make sure I wasn't like planting drugs or doing some terrorist activity. Like, yeah, right. Like, I'm gonna do that, dude. Guy had never been to jail. He don't know me, but he thinks I'm up to something, possibly. You know what I mean? Picking up trash and throwing it away, or like hanging it up as an ornament, because it might have a significant symbol on there that matches maybe what I'm doing. He want to ask me how I'm doing, like what I'm doing and stuff. I'm saying? When I look probably more in shape than him, his fat ass got to sit around and drive around the hood and the community and stuff, making sure everybody's okay. Because that's what everybody's, everybody's like, yeah, calling the police on, the guy with the star necklace. You know what I mean? For just, doing all the murders and doing all the drug dealing and, doing all the pedophilia, doing all the rape, grape. Yeah, you're right. That's this guy right here that never went to jail. You know what I'm saying? Never did any of those things. Got people that can vouch for that. I got people in my real life that can say, "Oh yeah, no, he ain't never did that." Bro, I can tell you, I ain't never did that. Tell you, I ain't never raped nobody. I ain't never had to kill nobody. I never put myself in no situation where I had to kill nobody. And if I've ever maybe getting jumped or in fights or some shit, I might have thought about it. But it's not. People ain't really worth killing like that or nothing. It just make my life harder and leave a stain. It's not. It wouldn't be worth it type shit. Now, if it goes there, I'm not backing down from shit. God's gonna do it. But there's always a force always like a force in the moment. Me and even the other people, they be kind of catching all right, we ain't gonna totally fuck him up, or I might stop and just all right, let me just walk away. It's time to go. All right, it's time to go. Type shit. So people have this innate intelligence. People know, all right, subconsciously, people know what's morally correct. You know what I mean? What's not correct. You know what I'm saying? Even if we get upset with each other as people, animals do it in the jungle, right? And they might, get into little fights and shit, claw at each other, might be some scratches here and there and shit like that. But at the end of the day, if that's a tribe of a certain type of creatures or whatever, they mob with each other. Yeah, they're at the end of the day, they might not see eye to eye, but at the end of the day, they know they might be both hyenas, just maybe from two different hyena tribes, but they both hyenas. So they ain't go and they're all right, we hyenas. We can agree to disagree type of shit. All right, let's just forget this shit even happened. Sometimes it'd be like that. Let's just forget this shit even happened, dude. What the fuck even happened? I take accountability on my end, and I don't know about the other people. It's up to them. A lot of times it's just too much. So on my end, I'm just making things clear. Anything can happen. One of them is not gonna be in my life. I ain't trying to kill nobody, cause I ain't never did that. I ain't never graped nobody. I ain't never did. I ain't never sold drugs on some serious shit. I might have did whatever I did because, just to, whatever. But I ain't never mass produced and sold bricks and kilos and moving weight state to state and trunk deals. I ain't never did that. I ain't never had to do that, and I'm proud to say that. I'm not ashamed to say that either, bro. Cause that's people that were in these situations will even tell you they had to just do whatever. They was survival type shit. Niggas don't want to do this shit. Niggas don't want to do that shit. Only I guess the government wants to, since they the ones making fucking CVS drug stores and shit. They the only ones that really want to do it, because everybody else would have probably never even made drugs. The natives wasn't making fucking penicillin pills and shit. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. So who else was gonna be making the drugs other than maybe some foreign niggas that like to make drugs and shit because they was too bored or something. They didn't know about life. They didn't know about nature, so they was just I guess I don't know. Their mind went to other things making fucking crack and making heroines and shit, making fentanyls and extracting heroin is from the poppy seed or the poppy flower. So they got on some science shit, but then their mind was just not even in no, you know what I'm saying? They was in some whole other kind of perspective about life. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of okay, yeah, y'all not necessarily wrong, but what the fuck? How did y'all even come to that conclusion? You want to make some heroin and call it that? You know what I'm saying? And if anything, they probably learned that from the natives, bro. Because I remember my dad was telling me a story. The natives used to motherfucking, yeah, that's a native thing, dude. Don't get me started, bro. A lot of shit is native, bro. They learned a lot of shit from the natives, bro, and just copied it. And then they went colonized, did more, you know what I'm saying? Just took it back over there type of shit and spread it back over there. That's what like a lot of the Vietnam War was about, and a lot of these wars and shit was just taking a lot of the natives and then trying to spread people out back to other areas where they just trying to get rid of the natives. That's the really or just mix everybody together. Then nobody knows who the fuck they are, and then everybody's just the same. Like that Timmy Turner episode where everybody was just gray blobs. You know what I'm saying? And Timmy Turner got tired of being a blob, and then he finally put on his hat again. And then people were like giving him shit because he was wearing a pink hat or his hat or whatever. He was just, and that was like, to me, that was like a whole Masonic program type of shit. Like, man, they did a number, but at least then shit was like good. Nowadays shit is ass. Like, yeah, at least the witchcraft and the programs, like, damn, that was like at least hard. Got my mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm like on another, you know what I'm saying? That's a good correlation, bro. You'd be wearing this hat. He wished for everybody to be gray blobs, and then he realized like how fucking, like how boring and shit that would be, like how like ununique and unattractive. Like everybody just was still assholes, or like nothing really changed. What he was trying to change about whatever like he was experiencing, he tried to control. Like he tried to wish and control the world type of shit, right? And people were still acting the same way that before they were blobs. So when he put on his hat, that was like him being an individual blob. You know what I mean? People were like, haha, look, he's got his hat, making fun of him because he was an individual and stuff. And everybody else was just like the same. That was deep, bro. That was some deep shit, man. Shout out to Nickelodeon at the time. Nowadays y'all are trash, but shout out to Nickelodeon then. You know what I'm saying? The Masons and the Jews, or the Sons of Liberty group niggas, or whoever was in charge back like in the 90s, early 2000s and stuff. The 80s, a little sprinkling like the late 80s and shit. But mainly like the 90s and the early 2000s. Barely. I don't want to give the early 2000s too much credit. You know what I mean? But the early 2000s was the shit. Because I grew up in that. That was like the time I was like growing up in, so I can't be mad at it. I'm like pretty much a 90s, 2000, 90, 2000. My 90, 2000 there. Millennials and shit, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, I ain't trying to go too much into the like Timmy Turner, La La Land. But that's pretty much how they got the world fashioned mentally. Like everybody's in this like great. Go look at the streets, man. Go look at a lot of people with tattoos on their face or on their skin. You know what I'm saying? Go look at like 6ix9ine or somebody like, they got all these like skid marks on their face. Look like, niggas got all these, like, sorry, I ain't trying to like knock Wiz Khalifa, but man, come on, dude. Niggas not even, he's gonna like, all his shit just gonna like blend into his, like, nobody's gonna be able, he's gonna just look like regular or something. You have to really zoom in on Wiz Khalifa to see his tattoos when he gets older or something. But like Post Malone or somebody like that, they got a bunch of skid marks, bro. Shout out to everybody with tattoos. I ain't trying to make nobody feel bad. I ain't trying to put nobody down. It's just my sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? I look at like, in a certain regard, tattoos are like a bunch of skid marks. Like the street out there. Stains on the ground. Right? That's what they do. Like when you're in the gang and stuff, when you're with the gang and them, you put in some rep, right? You put in some work, you go get a tattoo, right? Because you got some stain now, right? You got some stain. You're known, right? You got some stain on your name a little bit, right? That's what they did. I thought that's what that right. That's why you get a tattoo. It's like a rite of passage. It's it's like a religion, right? It's a rite of passage. Like everybody got the tattoo on the gang and them, in the gang them. You know what I'm saying? All that shit. And it gets even more deeper if you was like in prison, you go to jail and stuff, then you got like jail tattoos and it's like specific tattoos and symbols that are like in the jail mentality world and shit that only come out of it like when you really in there for like doing whatever and stuff. You get certain symbols in there and shit, like certain like patches. They patching shit to your body though. Like that's like what? That's like what I was taught. Like that's because where the mind go, the body go, and also like where the body go, your mind go. So you want to like, your mind is supposed to like, you know what I'm saying? Be the ship. So your body's not necessarily supposed to be using your mind, but in certain aspects, like you do have to use your body to get to your mind. You get what I'm saying? Like your mind, you're not the mind or the body. You was just the observer, but these are like two of the same thing. So like you could say your mind's kind of more the subjective, and then the body kind of in this context would be more like the more condensed conscious awareness. But both of them coincide. But really, the body spawns. The body is like just a lower your lower self. Your mind like your higher self, kind of like not to get lost in black and white polarity and shit, but I know words and shit. But yeah, I ain't trying to talk too long about this. I ain't trying to talk too long about this. But that's how they got everybody lost too in Super Bowl shit, like people picking teams and shit and bets and everybody trying to just make money, or they rooting for whatever team to talk shit after the game or during the game, or I mean nobody owns the football team though. The players don't even like the niggas on the field don't even like, you know what I'm saying? They don't even own themselves. Yet you got like millions of people tuning in to like sit around and just kill themselves with beers and drink and alcohols and yeast beer, yeast water, and yeast, all kind of yeast. Yeah, get all kind of yeasted up, and your mind gets all foggy, and you're just like, you probably feel all like, you probably feel all fucked up and shit, and then and they just like all over. You might get fucked up later if you're not careful. And that in that state of being. So I got tired of that. I got tired of like being inebriated and not being totally like in control of my mind or my body. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I'm not fucking with this alcohol shit. Not like that. Not until I get my mind more correct. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll return at one point. You know what I mean? At some point. But as of right now, like, nah, I like being more in control. I don't like want to just drink a little bit and then like not even really feel it or nothing. And even if there's times where I was drinking a lot, and I like get a tolerance, and you're like, nah, I'm not even fucking with this. If I gotta drink a whole like few shots just to even and then what? You'd be feeling all like drained and fatigued, and your hormone imbalances. And it's just a whole bunch of mess. So that's really the elements going on, like chemistry, friction and fusion, different temperatures interacting with each other. This is what life is, right? Sex is joining to energy. People are here having relationships, interactions, relating, right? Otherwise you just be somewhere in a fucking room retarded, like this movie I remember seeing back in psychology class in high school that I took as an elective, and they showed us this. Whether this was a real thing, it seemed like a lab experiment that they just did and made a movie about it, which is fucking sick. This was a movie about some girl, and apparently, like, the parents were very abusive, and they just locked her in a room majority of like her childhood growing up and shit, and then she just like developed to just be severely retarded because she never like got outside of that room. She was chained up. They would bring her like food, and you know what I'm saying, like barely any food and water or whatever the fuck. No attention. They wouldn't give her no attention. She'd be in this dark ass room, chained up. You couldn't move. You know what I mean? So she ended up being a person that was like severely retarded, severely like disabled, because nobody grew her. She didn't get no. She didn't. You just put a seed in the ground. Is it gonna grow? The roots might come out a little bit, but it's not gonna. Is this gonna be a capable growing thing? You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. The parents were just very neglectful. They weren't really parents. You know what I mean? They probably hated themselves. So really be like from a spiritual place, because these are states of being. These are places. So a lot of people like didn't come from. I don't want to say like you came from light, but I'm talking about like a loving yourself kind of nature, and knowing who you are enough to like at least just love yourself for who you are and shit. Like you as a being. That's something that not everybody has developed. You know what I'm saying? I might have learned that young, just to learn how to love myself, or it was already within me, or I learned how to develop it. Like that was an ability I learned spiritually, but I still had to develop it in this lifetime to be what it is, right? So it was like a similar, same mechanism, light, emitting light, creating awarenesses, but not like doing too much to where you create a darkness, you know what I mean, or a heaviness. So a lot of people come from like a mentality where they mind, they spirit made, what I mean, as far as this lifetime, resonated more with being in a state of being of, like they come from darkness or hate, you know what I mean? I don't even want to say light or dark, but just like loving yourself, and then the opposite, the 180 of that would be like hating yourself, right? And that varies on a percentage level, right? So you're never just like some 100% concept or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? You're always like more or less in whatever aspect. You know what I mean? Like as far as like a cup being half full. You know what I mean? You might have more water in one cup than the other areas, or like some. That don't mean that, and that don't mean that people could change either. That people could learn how to love themselves or create that, because it's just something you got to make. This is all shit we got to make. Love, hate, relationships, fucking Super Bowls, shit, super shits, whatever the crap of the dice roll, like super rolls, super pizza rolls, like whatever it is you want to make, you can make it. Super tolls on the bridge. I hope they don't take that idea. But super tolls for anybody that be in like New York and shit, or in the Bay Area in California, like they got super tolls on the bridge. Bay Area is a little different. Niggas be out there we be doing. Niggas we be out there doing. Niggas don't be paying toll and shit. Niggas don't be paying tickets and shit, and for the tolls and shit until like later on or something. Like niggas ain't paying no tolls. If we get feed, or we find a way around that. But like New York, I ain't. Probably people out there paying. You gotta pay your toll out there. They serious about that European shit out there. They serious about that European shit in Europe. I mean, out there in New York, But yeah, man. SZA was the a little like, she was like in the Red Fox energies and stuff. Like it's all native hobbyism, dude. Kendrick was on his U.S. Cavalry two-stepping vibes. You know what I mean? That's what it seemed like. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna go into a lot of that nigga shit too. Be like, I feel like they was like watching me and others like that are similar like me out here, maybe in the West, that might watch Dolo, or you know what I'm saying? Like they for sure watching my ass and taking a whole bunch of ideas. Even if they didn't do it like physically in the external way, they would for sure watch me in the layers before this on some spiritual shit. Cause like we always doing this already in a lighter like state of being. You know what I mean? That would be like they got a lot of people in this like esoteric Babylon kind of concept where we all agree into this language and these terms and conditions. And this is everybody. I mean, otherwise you wouldn't have been born here. So wherever you got lost into your mind, and that matching this realm and shit, and then they have spiritual contracts that they made, and it's a whole bunch of fraud type of shit. But it's like there's some truth to it, because it's not like they just making it, like they are making it up, but there are contracts though, you know what I mean? So they be like more like some business type of spirit, like Cobalty just machine the structures themselves, the shapes and forms. But you can't just like, you know what I mean? You can't just fit any type of shape, like object into, for example, like right here. You know what I mean? If I were to try to put a box through here, like watch, it won't work. Just for example, right? Like, I'd have to I'd have to force it through there, right? Now, when you force it through there, that's like, you know, you got to pay. That's like certain spiritual crimes and practices. Not, I apologize. I wasn't even trying to show y'all my foot like that. I hate to show y'all my foot. I don't even like feet and shit. Anybody's feet. Feet are like a new thing. I don't really care for feet too much. We talk about maybe females. Females get some grace. But homie cheeses and stuff. I don't even like looking at my own feet sometimes. But I got good. I got okay feet. My feet are fucked up right now. I guess I'll do this real quick. Like this cup, right? See, you know what I mean? Like, so there's certain rules like in the spirit realm, like, cause we're constantly like trying to match. You know what I mean? Like, this is the more appropriate match, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, that goes there. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, that's really the actuality of what's going on. So when things don't align and things don't fit, I hate to use the word fit, but yeah, it's about being fit, being in shape. So when you're not in shape, when you're not who you actually are, you might be somebody else's, like in somebody else's molding, or what you've been crafted out to be by somebody else as like an art piece, or some type of like agriculture, like something they grew, or you know, somebody else's seed and plant, you know, somebody else's tree that they hybrided and spliced and did a whole bunch. Don't get me started. So it'd be like that type of shit. Everybody being just agriculture concept that really the white man concept. And they just got like a bunch of people whitewashed. So that's what you saw at the Super Bowl. Super Bowl like toilet, you know, it was a good old Super Bowl toilet, you know, and flush. All them spirits there are gonna get flushed most likely. I hate to say it, you know, you gotta get flushed down the toilet at some point. You know, at some point. If it ain't by man, not if it ain't gonna be by the man, like man for sure gonna do it. Man don't give a fuck about none of these people. Man just gonna use people and abuse them. Just so man could like maintain a certain like rulership, king of the hill position, where everybody got to go to that tree because they like chop down everybody all the other trees, and now they got the one tree that they strong held, and create some like kids next door fucking Fortnite thing in this one tree. It was like the main tree too, like one of the main trees that they didn't even start with. It was like, all right, yeah, they took it over and shit, and they just like colonized it, like the Avatar movie. Like that really happened. Like that really happened. The Avatar movie, niggas came, chopped down all the trees, started chopping down all the how they came and started chopping down all the trees, the forests, and shit on fire. You know what I mean? At first it was cool though. Like, go watch the Avatar movie. It was cool. Like, first they came, you know what I'm saying? They sent the little scout dude, the scout nigga in and shit. They told him like go learn their ways. And then he had the other little the science motherfucker with him and shit like that, right? And then they got cool with the chick. And then they started getting in with the people and stuff. Was there for however long, right? Probably like years or months, at least months to like a year or so and shit. And they was there doing all kind of studies, you know, living, becoming a part of the community, because they had to do everything the same. They're like, all right, you want to be here with us natives, then you got to live accordingly. You got to do the same shit we doing. Otherwise, you're gonna get fucked up by the environment. Like the environment gonna take you out. So whether it's like an animal or something, or you know what I'm saying, you might just get hurt not climbing a tree correctly, or if you're going hunting and shit, might not be the right time to hunt, and then that's where you get hit with all. You get attacked by the whole like swarm of hornets. You know what I mean? Because you wasn't even supposed to be there at that time. That's where the hornets was coming out. You know, like shit like that. Like, yeah, you ain't supposed to be somewhere where the hornets is buzzing. You know, the bees is like, like that's like the time where they doing certain shit. You don't go fuck with the bears. You know, like you go accidentally like wander into a bear cave or some creature, big ass animal creature. You know, you get chased by a goddamn deadly creature that's trying to fuck you up because it's like you're like foreign to its land and you don't know how to like move and shit. That's really what be going on. And you possibly are like food to it. It's hungry. You know, they might eat your ass just for showing up. Go watch the movie. I ain't trying to promote shit either, but that's pretty much what happened in that movie, bro. Like, bro, they showed up, and then they're like, as soon as they learned enough, they're like, all right, send them in, boys. And then when they went and fucking cleared hella shit, cleared all the trees, war, a little battle occurred, battle occurs, started fire, like send shit on fire, burnt the main tree down, like all kind of shit, bro. That movie was disrespectful, dude. Motherfuckers was crying in that movie. There was like real, like I really related to that movie, bro. Seeing the characters in there cry and shit, I was like, damn, I know what it's like to be moved from my home. Not even just in the past life, but in this life, like my whole life, I've been getting moved around, and people trying to move me and shit. Every goddamn down to the microseconds and minutes and hours throughout the day and shit, where other people don't know how to just fucking set their mind still, so they try to like move me and control me when I'm just being myself, standing where, like, being my, you know what I mean, being where I'm at and shit. They're like, oh, the actual correct place to stand is over there, like some fucking gay ass shit. Some gay ass shit where they just like they don't know what else to do but try to like move your ass, and it still don't work because I'm not like, y'all ain't spiritually moving me. I'm not convinced about none of this shit. So they be trying to physically move me, and that's where they just dug themselves a deep ass hole over generations of time, and then those spirits evaporated and shit. They ain't coming back. Bitch, I'm back. Mm, bitch. Shout out to all the Filipinos. You know what I mean? Shout out to my Filipinos out there and stuff. Shout out to everybody, man. Let's get back together, people. Fuck. We are you are the government, man. Like everybody could be like working with each other, helping each other out, everything, bro. People would probably feel better about they millions of dollars they got. You know what I mean? You don't gotta like spend all of your millions of dollars. Why don't you like put 100,000 into a tiny home building project? See how many people want to sponsor that or some shit. You know what I mean? You probably get about 10 supporters that all got another $100,000. And then all y'all come together with $1,000,000 and get a little like tiny home community project going to help the homeless people or something out, or help people out and shit in y'all areas and shit. You know what I mean? And not just like create some religious Christianity fake shit where y'all just trying to like get more money. Or I don't know what people be trying to like, power or ego. No, like genuinely try to just help the next door neighbor person next to you. Since everything's already in shambles and shit, and people are already so out of nature, the next best thing is for us to create the next environment, and it's not gonna happen unless people start like at least somewhat giving a fuck. You know, you don't gotta like give a fuck completely, but who's stopping people from creating a place where like they got goddamn they own security they gonna hire and shit that ain't gonna abuse their power. Not talking about security guards that are gonna abuse their power and get on like power trips. No, everybody gotta have mental evaluations and shit. But that's the point. Everybody just straight like mentally retarded and fucked up in the head. And, like really nobody's fit to be a leader right now. You know what I mean? As far as like any type of community building type of shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, not like that. Like having a place. It starts in the mind and shit. But like you still got to put your boots on the ground. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like people ain't trying to come together like that, and they already rooted into whatever it is they rooted into. A lot of people just like really be like demons for real and sheep, and like robots and dumb, deaf, blind sheep and weak. So they just be like comfortable with whatever it is they into already. Some people got certain duties and obligations and responsibilities that they might have with another spirit. Like some people do got to take care of their grandparents or in a wheelchair or something, or some grandparents got to take care of some babies and kids and shit because maybe they you know what I'm saying, maybe they spawned a whole timeline of events. You know what I mean? So it's not really my responsibility to like help out my goddamn mom and shit. In a lot of ways, I'm the more adult spirit. I don't even got children like that. I'm not just creating like some reckless circumstance to bring children into, just because out of my own desires or whatever. Now, there's nothing wrong with shit. I'm just making a point. Like, I might be the more adult spirit in that context, in that scenario, because I'm not here with 4 children, you know, or 2 children, maybe 2 or 3, or 1, or any children, right? As far as babies in the world and stuff. Cause I know I ain't gonna, the fuck, nigga, I'm still trying to take care of myself and help others and shit in the world, and maybe change things, like, for real, or build, you know, or trying to, like, build something first before I just have other things. Like, I hate to say people like kids as things, but you know what I mean, like other priorities. There's certain things you got to lay down. You got to lay the foundation. You got to build the, you know, build the structures, walls, da da da. So there's certain things you got to put in place first, just as far as building a home, building a temple, or building a shelter, right, or a safety security shelter, like mine and a spaceship. You know, you having a state, like a, you know, like you having a, this is what I built as a man. This is what I carved out and created. This is my image, kind of energies and stuff. So like, that's how my mind was always just wired. Like, even without me knowing it, I was like, man, I'm not finna have kids until I'm like ready. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been with everything. I never just did something before I was ready to do it. You know what I mean? I wasn't smoking weed till I like felt like, oh, you know, I think I'm ready to smoke some trees. You know, and I did that. And that changed my life. Yeah, like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit, yeah, fried rice, all the steamed rice, all kind of steams, and don't get me started. It was like, yeah, fucking Taco Bell burritos was never the same. Pause, no homo. You know what I'm saying? But like, certain things you thought you were seeing one way, and then you shift. You try something new, or like you go, like, oh, okay. And not everything is supposed to be held on to either. But that the point where I was going, that, so yeah, like I wasn't gonna like create. First of all, you're not even gonna attract no real woman at least for me, like I'm like thinking I'm not even gonna attract no real woman like that I even want to have kids with, that matches this kind of like this imagination, this nation that I'm imagining, right? That I'm thinking of, you know what I'm saying? That I'm firm about, as far as like a firm thought and a firm idea. So when that starts to play out at some point, you know what I mean? If it, like, you could see what niggas is creating in the world based upon where their mind was at, and you can see like a lot of niggas wasn't on shit, you know, whatever the case may be. And this not necessarily their fault. This is just I don't know, a long line of people just being lost spirits. But this is like with the native Indian type of spirit, like, new, you know, it just knows, like it's built into, like, on some spiritual shit. It can't even really deny it, because it's a part of who you are, just you being alive. This is how you have a body. Like, this is how you even have centered equilibrium, 2 eyes, and just, yeah, basic shit. Like, basic shit that people overlook because they too worried about what they seen in a Star Wars movie, or what they seen on NASA on Google images, or what they trying to figure out because they confused, and like, maybe they trying to find the answer on a phone, or in another person, in another person's pockets, or another person's vagina, or like, or whatever the case may be. And you realize, like, you gotta create this for yourself. And it really ain't, I can't really tell nobody that there's a certain way to do that, but there's an overall mechanism that how that plays out. You know what I mean? There's like so it's not what you do, it's how you do it. We all might be doing a similar thing, but in our own kind of unique, different way of how we doing it. So that's kind of like where people kind of get confused to some degree, because it looks like we all doing the same thing, like 3D, you know, in the external shit, but people know, like, how, whatever they picking up on, as far as like whether you attracted to somebody or not, whether you like a certain expression that somebody makes with their face or not, or if you even like certain, you know, whether you even like people. Like, some people just show up like, fuck nigga, that's that shit I don't like. You know, it's just that song be playing in my head all day and stuff, you know. And I'm sure people hear that song when they look at me, possibly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like this nigga for whatever reason, right? You know, and so like a lot of Chief Keef be playing out here in the airwaves and stuff. We need to clean it up, man. We need to clean up the esoteric streets, y'all. Chief, there's a lot of Chief Keef and red, Keef Chiefs and you know what I'm saying, and red, sexy red or sexy burgundy or sexy red orange. Like there's a lot of sexy blues and shit. Like nah, man, we need to clean up the blue streets and the blue collar streets and like I don't the white collar. Why are we even wearing white T-shirts? 1738 edition. You know what I mean? Why are we even wearing like Coke Whites and Nikes? Shout out to the Bay. But yeah, it's like, yeah, we gotta think. You gotta think. Yeah, you might have thought you bought a pair of Air Force Ones, yeah, but you just bought some Coke. You just bought some esoteric, you just bought an esoteric like 40 bag. Yeah, you bought like a 60 bag. Yeah. Yeah, you bought like an 80 bag of some Air Force Ones, some white Coke Ones. You finna be flying shit. I don't know about nowadays, people were broke, but so, yeah, there's niggas out there buying shoes and shit. If you out there buying Air Force Ones, yeah, I don't know why sometimes you gotta think. Why are we buying Air Force Ones, y'all? Calling them Coke Whites. You know what I'm saying? Like, who started that? You gotta, like, people just accept shit. Like, oh, yeah, those are fresh Coke Whites. Yeah, those are fresh. Yeah, I fucks with those. Yeah, those are fresh. How much you pay for those? $100. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know, I could work hard for those. Like people just be like accepting all kind of generational curses and baggages and traumas and shit that the natives was like fighting to the death to not have to do. Like niggas was not trying to. I'm not. This is like this. I'm like I feel like man. Sometimes I just want to be naked for real because I know I'm like wearing a bunch of shit that's not even mine. But I know I really go to jail like the Walt Disney guy that just got caught up in the it's a small world after all. That dude that got caught up being naked at the Disneyland. I ain't trying to be out here like they, you know what I'm saying. I'd be the first one like people would like point the finger at like, hey, he's got look his dick small because it's cold outside or something. You know what I mean? And it's not until like my my blood flow gets rushing and when I'm around females and stuff, you probably, or when I wake up in the morning sometimes, that's a different conversation. But females get what I'm saying, and the females are gonna know where I'm coming from. That's all I gotta say. Just know that. But like all this shit is like fabric. It's fabricated. Fabric. It's fabricated. It's not. So it's like I know I'm wearing the opposite. It's like the oppositions. The ops are dressing me each day, and that's weird. It's like the ops are dressing me to some degree. Like certain things I created, like like this bead, my bead necklaces and stuff. I did make my star necklace. Maybe not this. It still got the Captain America kind of energy, but I know why I'm wearing this. A shout out to the flights. You know what I'm saying? Type of vibes, type of shit. You know what I mean? So. Bro, it's not the only, I got all kind of like, little objects and stuff that match what I'm doing as far as a practice. So, what I mean? Like the dove, so that's like a state of being light. Look, doves are peaceful. Those are peaceful birds. They represent peace, you know what I'm saying? Or white just means separating, or the lack of, or the absence of color, So colors would be like desires or these lights, like a rainbow spectrum. You know what I mean? So there's different shades, like different lights. There's different hues. This is where the term would, or hue, like, so that's like that hey, hi, ho, hue. So that's like that hey. That's that first spark of awareness, that light that was first emitted, like, hey, like, hey. So there's where the A's and shit, but like, hey, like, kind of, stretches it out. But, and then you got the hey ho. It's really like a hey ho. And then you make like you really do like this kind of, like, you're doing this like super, like, you're doing like super holy prayers and stuff with yourself. Like, you do like the super holy, like, mantra, like Naruto, like you finna fuck somebody up with some like super like righteousness powers. And you're doing the elements and stuff. Hey, I owe you. Hey, I owe you. Hey, I owe you. You get all like, get all into it and shit like that. But you gotta practice this shit for like not just one day, not just like one second, not just like 10 minutes. You can't be like scared of yourself. You gotta like not give a fuck about anybody else. You gotta really just like, and not, I'm not like, and I'm not like being, I'm not talking about like being hard on yourself and lying to yourself, like just genuinely living your life and not being focused on how you're gonna be perceived by other people before you even do what you know you want to do, what you naturally would be doing. Like if you listen to music and like to dance and move around, and when you go wherever you know what I'm saying, then do that. You know what I mean? And there's a time for that, and there's a time and place for that, and there may be a time where you got to go to work, and it's not the time to dance in that fashion. You might need to dance a different way. You know, do the business one too. You know, the business, to get the money step. Step to my money. The step to my moolah. Step to the moolah. Like the cat. You might do the cash cow dance, or you might do it. You know what I'm saying? The Johnny Cash dance, or with the boots and guitar and spurs and whatever the fuck it is for you. You come up with your own sauce that you make, and then at some point you got extraordinary sauce making abilities that you could just do at will and whip up all kind of new cookery, new chef abilities, and new foods for people to eat and stuff, and for you to try out and be like, okay, I didn't really care for that meal I made that that other day and stuff. I might have burned it that day. Let me temper it down. I might have it might have been too hot. That might have been too hot, too spicy. I might have I might have burnt. So you just, what I mean. You gotta watch out. You gotta watch out what's going on. You gotta watch yourself. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, and them niggas at the Super Bowl were there to be like watched by other people, but they probably wasn't really like there to watch themselves on TV and see how they look. So when they do go watch themselves and they go watch it on a playback, they probably be like knowing they look like goofy as hell. Like they be like, damn. That's why Kendrick Lamar was all. Remember that sad ass album he made about being sad and looking all like, looking all like, damn. Oh, yeah, it was called Damn. Nothing wrong with Damn, but he was in like a lower octave version of Damn. They got him walled into some shit. Shout out to Kendrick Lamar, but shout out to the West. Shout out, because they're trying to, but and like, all right, this is what I wanted to get to, man, because I gotta let me light the L on this one, bro. Let me light the dub. A lot of that, all right, from a California perspective, because I'm from the Bay Area. The LA fires and just the fires, period, bro. Just California's just had like fires for decades now. It's like not even. If you're from California, like this probably was like not even. Like you knew this was gonna happen at some point. It was bound to happen. It's not. You're not really surprised. It's like it's been, which is sad because like that shit goes back to the natives and shit and getting moved. So it's like a certain practice that like was just normalized at some point. And then in the daytime, the front is like the fire department. You know what I mean? Like the fire niggas. That gives them work to do. That gives them a type of job and purpose. And they make a whole narrative on the news and. You know what I'm saying? They do it, and it's this whole thing. Oh, the firefighters are the heroes now, and because you know what I'm saying? Because they see, so you see, like they got to create a problem to be anything, to be a hero, or like. But if they was just like what if there was no fires, then would there like you know what I'm saying? What the firefighter niggas be doing? Playing basketball, or like what would they be doing? You know what I'm saying? Are they genuinely firefighters, or are they just like part-time firefighters only when there's a seasonal fire? Are they putting out other fires that might be out here? You know what I'm saying? Like family feuds, and it might be a fire that's ready to happen that you could have possibly prevent, like Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent forest fires. Ever think about that? Are they like doing things in mysterious ways, being a vessel for God and shit, nobody and stuff? Or are they just like wearing a label like, oh yeah, we're the firefighters. We get paid to do this. We got the symbols and the icons and stuff. We're the ones you call Ghostbusters. That type of shit, man. Just straight. Oh my gosh, man! Don't get me started. But everybody was giving their power away. That's pretty much it.
Nobody owned it. Nobody, whoever won was, you know, the Jews and the Masons and shit. And anybody that constructed the stadium, and you know, whoever owns the, like, and then like, the certain titles and certificates that own like the dome and the Super Bowl itself. Everybody's like pieces of shit and full of shit in there. You know what I'm saying? So whoever like was flushing that, you know, that toilet at the end of the night, ooh, they flushed a lot of money into their pocket. Yeah, that's where that went. Yeah, the shit went elsewhere, and then all the like the money and stuff, and like yeah, like certain like properties. It might have been gold nuggets and that shit. You know, like, all the like shit, you know, that got to go away, and then somebody ate real good off of that. You know what I mean? Ate real good off of that for generations now. You know, Coca Colas, Pepsis. I might have to go maybe watch some of the commercials after this. Uh, but yeah, probably not. I'm not even into commercials these days. I got tired of like seeing all the ads and shit on YouTube. But yeah, let me turn this bitch around because, you know, we high and stuff. Yeah, man, Super Bowl of dope. It was like a Super Bowl of crack. That's what that was. Glad I didn't watch it. You know, not to like down it or nothing. And then the Grammys, like, okay, so they only concerned about their grandma. Yeah, like shout out to the flights and the Dolo pilot, man, the pilot teams. They only care about their grams, those pounds there. Like they only, after they had to steal all the, like, you know what I'm saying. But they got a grandma type of quality. Everybody got a grandma and a, you know, like aunties and cousins and nephews and stuff, and, you know, relatives and shit. So whoever this they family is, we only suing they Grammys now. We just suing they grandmas and shit. Yeah, they grandma's cookies in the gas station. And they Grammy Award trophies and stuff. And it's like if you don't got like five of them in your arms, like tiny little baby, the grandma just gave you to take care of, like, you know what I'm saying. And then you're not gold in the world or something. You're not platinum material. Yeah, you're not silver or gold or platinum. They're gonna have to come up with another fucking. They can't even come up with another label, like record label thing out of metal. They got to craft a whole new alloy or something. Like, yeah, they got to make some shit, some fucking melted metal. Like, how do you know what I'm saying? They could do that. They trying to make a method. They trying to turn Kodak Black into the. They trying to give him. They trying to put him on that crystal meth. You know, he's gonna have the first ever like crystal meth record label deal. He plaque, like the crystal meth plaque. Kodak Black's gonna have the crystal meth plaque. I hate to say it, you know, or the fentanyl plaque, the blue pack, the blue plaque. And then we got the gold and the silver. They gonna come up with just a blue plaque, or white. It's the white plaque. Yeah, it's the white album. Jay Z should have made the. Not, oh yeah, see, they already got Jay Z with the blueprint. Not to say that there aren't plans and shit like, but yeah, they got Jay Z with the blueprint bad. He was already off the esoteric fentanyl blues and stuff. You know, and Jay Z caught a good old bag of blues back in the day. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the thing. Like, yeah, they be testing shit on them, so it's like it's always this trickle down kind of concept where they got the purest dope at the first stages of it, and it's just remixed dope at this point, so it ain't really pure, but they still get like the first new hits of dope or whatever they making and shit. Like it might be some new remix version, like a stronger like tranquilizer drug or something, right? AKA fentanyl or something. Where before it was like Norcos or something, right? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Or before it was heroin or something. So they constantly just trying to create something, but they can't really do the old tactics anymore. Them old tactics anymore because people like kind of, you know, woke up more. Like things shifted, so they can't really use the same old like heavy tactics because they're too outdated. And then we're like in new times where it's like we're not even really in those times anymore. So they can't even really use those tactics how they were doing it before. They got to like try to do it in some new way or something, or just stop doing it completely. That's probably more suggested. You know what I mean? Since they like the internet trolling with the internet fed trolling and internet spamming and weird shit online is not it. Chiefs, you know, since y'all want to play to be the commander in chiefs and whatnot, it's not it. And that was like them trying to secretly say some shit too. Like those are like two native tribes competing with each other, like the Eagles and the Eagles probably like was them. You know, they look at it like whatever they finna do with the natives this year. Like it's all they all talking code and shit. Like something's gonna happen where they're trying to make America great again, and the Chiefs losing, which was like a native hobbyism stuff. And I know Eagles are too, but right now they got the ego energies stuff going in their favor. They little federal headship of the ego energy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just stealing everything from Doe to Pilot Man and natives and stuff. All the native land and the way the wind blows, the way the wind moves and shit like that. The trees, what makes up the ocean. They just trying to dry everything up, bro. But I think they keep it some moderation, you know what I mean? Because they ain't just like totally. You can't just like do it like 0 to 100. So that's what I realized too. Like things are slow in this realm. Like literally everybody's slow, retarded. Things happen slow. You can't just like change the world in a day. Apparently people don't think like, hey, let's get this shit done today. And there's enough of us. There's like billions of us. But yeah, there's people that don't want to start right now today. Like, hey, let's maybe start something new. You know what I mean? We can keep everything we got and we could just like expand upon this and make it better for everybody. And it don't gotta be everybody dying and shit and all heavy and depressed. And anybody that's got corporations and businesses, shit, people will kind of, people will want to fuck with y'all because y'all ain't like too cutthroat and y'all ain't too businessy where people start looking at y'all like y'all are robotic and not really in life. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody be working for real and giving their time away, and then like they go into the store and look at prices or go to gas pump and look at prices, and then they be automatically they have to think like, are these niggas? Where are these niggas? Are these niggas high? Where the fuck these niggas at? Even if they don't say it or really like show it in their expression, the subconsciously it's there though. They feeling it. They're like, man, I gotta pay this shit again. Or something. So it's like people be having like suppressed energies that they know they want to share and express, but it might come out in an unhealthy way that's certain people give a fuck about, certain people don't give a fuck about. But so the people that give a fuck about it, they're considering too much of other people, and then anybody that's just like I hate to say dumping, but anybody that's just releasing like if I gotta go take a piss, I don't really care who's really around. I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I don't just like do it in the open in front of everybody. I'm gonna go off to me personally. I got enough consideration. Like I'm gonna go over here or something. You know what I mean? Behind a tree or something, right? Off to the side type shit. And I'm just gonna like whip my genitals out in front of traffic and just start peeing on the ground like a dog, right? Now, some people in the world don't have that. They might be going backwards. They might be regressing. So they might still be baby, or they've been a baby spirit the whole time, and they rather shit on the side of the street, pull their pants down in front of everybody in broad daylight, with some type of mental illness. You know what I mean? Like they want to get high off of crystal meth or something, not clean up or nothing. So they just go shit on the side of the street. You know what I mean? For whatever reason, disabilities, maybe they just couldn't get to the bathroom quick enough, whatever the case may be, type shit. But yeah, man, this world's tricky, man. Super Bowl, man. Like, I'm not gonna really say too much more about this, but just know that shit was probably, man. Like I said, whoever came up with they got paid. You know what I mean? They got paid. What was my main? Hold on, I'm just trying to make sure I hit all my points. What was that point I had? I already said that. Like nobody owns shit. They don't own the jerseys. Nobody owns none of the sodas being sold. None of the beers. None of the Jaeger. None of the Hennessy shots. Like nobody owns a single goddamn thing Yet people want to just go give all their time and energy away to all the people that set it up for them. That's pretty much what's going on. So, and then in exchange for whatever people think they're receiving as a perk, like a little perky or something, right? Some of it's like it's some type of whatever. Everybody got their own individual desires getting met and shit when they go like participate with that shit. But fucking like the football players though, they get paid. Just go smack, go hit, go like just destroy each other pretty much. And run routes, that trade routes and like little trade routes and like the natives did and shit that the white man copied and took and I guess made football plays out of, shit like that. Like, and that was like a thing where niggas was like we had routes to know where, make sure we go get the water, get the whatever, and take back to the village and shit, and who's where, and you don't cross this river line, and we don't go past that river line, and you don't kayak this way, and we don't go down that way, kind of shit. All right, we good, yep, all right, for sure. And niggas was pretty cool, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like too many problems really ever amongst the natives, and if there was, niggas had just motherfuckers handled it. And that was it. And it was like just a general agreement. Like, all right, niggas know. Like, if you put your life on the line on some, all right, nigga. But it wasn't like nobody scared to back down, and like nobody was scared to drop their nuts. So we just in some whole like, this is like some whole other alternative timeline for us. It's not even like life for real. This is some like robotic machine function. This is like really the Matrix. Really the Matrix. Maybe I'll remember the point I had. What was I gonna say, bro? Oh yeah, the fires, bro. I was talking about the fires. So yeah, all that fires and shit going on in California. Niggas wasn't happy, bro. Like Kendrick, yeah, okay, yeah, Kendrick Lamar, blah 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 blah. That's cool. Salute to bro, or whatever the case may be. But in the reality, like that nigga ain't doing shit for nobody, bro. Niggas. And then the government's still like setting niggas' homes on fire and setting people's lands on fire and shit. Like, I'm convinced the government did that. That wasn't no random act of random shit. You know what I'm saying? Because then people would be doing that shit every day, like setting fires and shit, arson and shit. Like that shit would be going on every day. Then the world would have been on fire and set ablaze by crazy niggas that are just going around setting fires and shit. All like retarded, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's clearly orchestrated. That happens like the same time each year for the past years and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they keep, it's like been ongoing fires just in California, like nowhere else. Like New York ain't we're not hearing fucking fires about New York and shit. You know what I'm saying? Where all the fucking stock market niggas are at. You don't hear about the stock market catching on fire. Yeah, but you hear where like Sonoma, the Sonoma Valley shit, where everybody, like had agriculture land and was growing great vineyards and shit. Like, there's a whole bunch of politics and shit going on that the local just small fish person don't even be aware of. They be aware of it, but they know like they not in that world, so I guess they just accept the fact that they're gonna like go to the bar and just watch Super Bowl. Instead of maybe like going to not do that and maybe go just sit down for a second, because there's other spirits in the world that might know what to do next, but all y'all niggas might be in the way. Don't know how to take care of yourselves, so you just create more like distractions for everybody. Like everybody just be caught up in distractions. But the fires, that shit ties in with the natives and shit, and then scorched the earth plans and shit. I think at some point they think they could build a fake artificial sun in China. So I think their goal is to like, they can't just like act too soon on things, because people would catch on right away, right? This is from my experience. Like if I try to tell people something, they don't even like believe me. They won't accept it, right? And if I just like keep things to myself, then that's like also kind of like people might start asking, yeah, people want to know and shit, like what you doing, or like even if they don't like necessarily do that, people are kind of like, like people are like not dumb, but they are. So it's like you gotta gradually like, it's like a child. You gotta like, raise your child up slowly but surely. You don't just like your child just wasn't a baby and it goes to be 100. But like this is what the native mind, we damn near we already be like infinite type of spirit. So like a real adult spirit, like you kind of are. You should like know just at least spiritual life, like shit about life and existence. You should just know as a spirit that nobody should have to teach you. Like, like taking a shit, wiping your ass, you popping out of a butthole, you being a piece of shit that popped out of some lady's butthole after a man was inside of it, releasing fluids that combined with the egg cell, and then that thing that the egg cell and the fluids joined, the container and the fluids. So and then you became that cup. You became that little beverage, that shot, that drink, that they both was drinking at the bar. You was probably like a spirit in the bottle. A lot of a lot of people are like man-made spirits and shit. They was like alcohol spirits and shit like that in bottles and shit, like little yeast babies and shit. And then the dad be like fucking or whatever. Then they go have a kid, and it was actually like one of the yeast bacterias or something that evolved over like generations and shit. And then now like 50 years later, you know what I'm saying? You got like yeast babies in the world that actually spawn back from like the original yeast brewer and cats. They maybe hundreds of years ago, 200 years ago, cats were making moonshine and shit. Now there's like moonshine spirits in the world, like that are born now because they were like, you know what I'm saying? They had help to be brought here at least. As far as that material object matching like maybe a spiritual location. So it's that too. Like we be doing shit in the external. We're trying to constantly do some new shit because you don't like maybe the next new thing might set you free. You might find like another piece of your mind. So it's like we're lying to ourselves in a lot of ways. But like you already know everything, but you're constantly trying to pick up the pieces and put yourself back together. So it's like you create an idea and then you broke it down like a math problem, or you broke it down in like bags of dope. You know what I'm saying? Like drugs and shit. You got like little baggies and stuff. But this is you. These are your minds and shit. This is your body. Like individual dime bags or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like individual like rocks and 30 bags. And like, just different sections and shit. You might have one bag of dope right here. That's your heart. Yeah, like another bag of dope over here. You know what I'm saying? Talk about your body, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is why they even say I fall playing basketball or something and I go dunk a basketball. Maybe people that showed up to the basketball game, I like watching basketball. Maybe if I was in the basketball game, niggas would show up to the basketball game and they see me dunk or something, they'd be like, ooh, that was dope. Why do you say that? You gotta think, people, why are we saying that like that was dope? Because you're what are you doing? But you're like chemistry. Alchemy, you're doing alchemy and shit. You're combining thoughts and you're like crashing thoughts, joining and sexing thoughts and feelings together, and you're constantly like creating rosebuds and different tree ornaments and all kind of just new like buds and stuff and like different herbs and shit. You create all new type of different shit. That's what Ice Spice was doing. She tried to be Ice Spice. And somewhere that don't go together, like somewhere that don't necessarily like quite go together, ice and spice. Somewhere down the line, that maybe wasn't the best name representation for her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she called herself like Surprise Spice, or like, like Prize Spice Surprise. That would have been hard. Maybe she would have been good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Ice Spice out there. You got time to check. You got time. I'm giving you that's free game, baby. Shout out there like her little Taurus. What is she, a Taurus again? I forgot if she was a Taurus or a Scorpio. I think she had a Taurus with like a Scorpio moon or some shit. Shout out to Ice Spice. Holla at me, baby. We can work out together. I like to go on runs and stuff. I like to do push-ups and stuff. I get up early and stuff. Holla at me, baby. I like to eat good and stuff, cooking in the kitchen. We could do, you know what I'm saying? So surprise spice. Or what did I say? Ice surprise. Ice surprise. That would have been hard. Hey, shout out anybody out there, pass that along, man. You heard it first right here, man. She should change her name to Ice Surprise or Ice Prize or something. Maybe she would have. She could have called herself like Ice Surprise or something like Ice Surprise, Ice Surprise. That would be, shout out to my Esau's, me and my Esau's and shit. Shout out my Issas and shit. Shout out Issa Gold. I met, bro. Shout out Issa Gold from the underachievers, the overachievers, or the underachievers. The achievers, inner achievers and stuff, Issa Gold and stuff. Shout out to the Esau's and stuff, the natives and stuff. And the beings that came out the mini, out the red waters and shit, the seas, the waters and stuff, out the bloody oceans and stuff. Come on, man. People don't even know how to peep game, dude. You got oceans filled with like life, and then what did you pop out of? A butthole, vagina thing, your mom's womb, C-section, but downstairs jacuzzi area. You know what I mean? You want to think you did something different than what like the other birds and the other things did, like ants and worms and shit. Like you think you did something different than what like how spiders lay eggs and all that kind of shit. Like pigeons, I seen pigeons fucking on a rooftop one time. That was back in 2020. All the birds, all the animals was doing all kind of shit. Everybody was on lockdown. Birds wasn't. The animals wasn't. Animals was on the rooftop. Fuck it. While y'all was probably inside fucking. Yeah, funny how that works. Funny how that works. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Tired of like, could we get like next year? Could we get a bowl super? Like it might be Mexican. It might just be more Mexican next year. It might turn into like bowl el super. It might be like bowl el super. You know what I'm saying? Like the super, like the bowl of super. They might try to do some native hobbyism like that next year, like bowl super. Real dragon stuff. Real dragon stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't no dragoon. It was like the U.S. Cavalry. I was a U.S. Cavalry, like military position. It was the dragoons and stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I gotta keep this camera going at all times. Save your life type shit. Turn this off. I ain't trying to get no like dumbass DUI or nothing stupid. That's not even a thought in my mind. What laws and shit? Who's trying to play fake God in the world? That's right. Keep driving by me. And there's nothing here. I'm not even giving them no energy for me to be in, for them to like harass me like that or like even think I'm up to something. Cause I'm not. That right there will like put the whole like police system out of business. If niggas didn't give niggas a reason to be like, stop giving the police a reason to put your ass in jail. You know what I'm saying? Not what you do is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? At least stop getting caught or stop doing like whatever it is you're doing in such a like dishonest fashion. Or start holding these niggas to the fire. They the ones selling the most. Let me be quiet. And they the ones selling the most dope and most drugs and shit. You know what I mean? Joe Biden administration, like some years ago, recently promoting, I think that was like 2023 or 22 or some shit. They was promoting that $30 million for the crack pipes and shit for fiends and like crack pipe kits and stuff. So people could like get high in more, like not so of a dangerous way or some shit in a healthier fashion or some shit. You know what I mean? Where did that 30 million go? You know what I'm saying? What happened to that $30 million that was going towards like crack pipes and crack kits and it was like something like to help the like war on drugs or something. Why don't y'all stop making drugs in these university lab experiment Resident Evil underground like Nazi zombie you know what I'm saying? Nazi zombie chambers and shit and like underground Pentagon rooms and shit. Like why don't y'all just stop making dope. But I get it. Y'all put it out there. It's like, y'all put it out there for the little rats and shit in the maze to eat, and they just be retarded. So it's like y'all, this is like y'all a little way of like population control and like killing two birds with one stone. You get to like practice y'all psyops and like mental psychology experiments and doing data analysis and shit and behavior studies and shit like that. Because that's what they do. They just like to sit back and study other people in these like fake ass synthetic their concept of life, but it's like they made it some their man-made like literally there's like boxes and chambers. So they plan they because they kind of they took understanding from the natives like okay space within space and shit. So they like now they playing some fake god where they could just like go hide wherever they at, not even be in reality, but yet everybody thinks some god is taking care of them each day and putting food in the store. when there's nobody else in the store but other humans and shit like that, working like machines and you know what I mean, or like stocking food and stuff, and or driving trucks, to and from the stores, or like the planes flying cargo, long distance cargo travels and for whatever packages and stuff, Amazon gift packages and stuff. So but like mainly the food and the agriculture thing is going to the Walmarts, the Targets, the Safeways, the Albertsons, the Luckies, the Fries. And these are all like one conglomerate of a family at this point. They all work together. They're just in their own little like different branches, just like how they got the government, the judicial branch. You know what I mean? The fucking all them other branches and shit. The legislative branch, and whatever branches. I forgot about all them shits. I don't even know what those words mean. Something about legalations. I don't know, legalations or some new like form of Asian they created or some shit like some new Asian thing. They damn for sure ain't running no nation like they took away that from the natives, and the natives was running the hardest nation out of everybody ever. So it's like, how do you redo that? You can't redo that, bro. It's like you just had to be there. Yeah, you had to be there. If you didn't, you missed out on the party. Now we like get some new shit. It's like a whole different like it's like a trap house kind of party. Like it's like a trap house party. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas don't. Nobody owns the house. Everybody just free for all babies that just spawned from the forefathers of the previous conflicts of the land disputes and who's gonna run the hood and shit. Which the engines were in charge of themselves, the hood, and the engine in the hood, but then they built some like, man, don't get me started, man. This shit's like all fucking literally fabricated, dude. It's fabricated, it's manufactured. And there's nothing wrong with these things. It's just us as people, we gotta start taking our power back. You know what I mean? Start producing things again. Like I said earlier, like we'll stop all the athletes from coming together, putting all their money together and shit with other people that probably endorse their ass and shit. They got celebrity friends and business associates and partners and all kind of, you know what I'm saying? They the athletes. That's what I would do. The fuck? Come together with all my athlete buddies and shit. Like, hey, let's all just go create our own, like, call it the LFN or something. You know what I mean? Or FNL or like the NE, or you know what I'm saying? Or the EFL or the MFL or like you call it anything. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the same shit. It'd be the same shit. So y'all would own it. You know what I'm saying? And the white man, like, the stamp people, they wouldn't be able to, you know what I'm saying? The parliament niggas and shit, they wouldn't be able to do shit. They wouldn't be able to do nothing. They just had to go along with the program because it'd be some shit. We like, nigga, this is our program. This is how we getting down. What you gonna do? Kill us? Where y'all at? Y'all not even around and shit. So it'd be more that party. Like who? You know what I'm saying? That whole God.gov concept would just fade to the side somewhere. It wouldn't even be like really acknowledged unless they doing something for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna drop a big bag or something like where they need us at the day Super Bowl. You know what I mean? What the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? They want to give all they time away, and then they gonna fucking die broke anyway. And shit don't really make fucking sense to me, so I sit here and I smoke it away. That shit don't make no sense to me. I got real common sense. You tell me like nobody could come together and all the fans and people like everybody gonna go pay money at y'all shit. There's nobody showing up to the NFL games no more, or the NBA games no more, or the MLB hockey games. Like even the, you know what I'm saying? The tennis, even the, like nobody's showing up to the tennis cups and the tennis matches in Australia and shit like that. The fuck people are gonna go see it. Like, don't y'all remember fucking the backyard basketball? Backyard, I used to play that on the computer and shit. Little backyard baseball game and stuff. Little backyard, you know what I mean? Like life ain't a video game, but that game taught me some shit. Like you could do it in your own backyard. I should see. That's where I wasn't as a child, or I was still more in a child mentality than I wasn't peeping game like that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't peeping there. I was still too timid to like maybe like want to. I didn't really have a backyard yet. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to he got his front of his license plate. It says Indiana, and then on the side of the red, like the cab truck is like ER England. So Red Coat England deals with the Indians. They know what the fuck they slapping on the side of Walmart trucks and putting on the Casa Grande, Arizona. Casa Grande, yeah, big house, right? Big ass grande house, right? Air. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to get there now. You can't just like come invade this time. You can't just come invade this. This is like a whole new type of house now. Like good luck now. Like shit, y'all ain't finna regulate me. Y'all might got my body, but you ain't got my mind. Y'all like partially got my mind to some degree, but like you ain't got my spirit. You damn for sure ain't never gonna have my space. Damn for sure ain't never gonna like have my space. Cause I'm gonna die and just release all. Like I'm not taking none of this shit with me. So like, and so I'm releasing here. So that's what they do best. They just like take your shit after you die and stuff. They just take your shit, or they like kill you or move you somewhere and like just eliminate your culture and stuff. What you grew, in the trees, y'all family tree, y'all family lineage, y'all plants. You know what I'm saying? With y'all sports, with whatever y'all spores y'all was growing and creating and materializing, manifesting, materializing, cultivating. Whatever you cultivated as a cult, as a not even a no language or cults, or like just agriculture, like just knowing what you crafted out for you to even be born where you at and pop out of those waters and out of that region and shit. You know what I mean? Out of that area. So people need to like just get back in touch with they region. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel out of place, it's because you are. You spiritually went to a certain geographical location in the spirit realm and in the mental, like mental travel aspect. You took your space. And then that was inside of your mind, or your mind was like, no, yeah, like your mind was like wrapping that around. You know what I'm saying? Encapsulating that, because it's always the lighter object inside of the heavier object. So your mind is just like the actual light awareness. So like your spirit is nothing, no thing, no space. So that's like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So your light is just gonna be around that by default, because it's something you pushing out and you constantly are like emitting. You know what I'm saying? So like you might have a natural way that you move that is familiar to you and what you did first for the first time in your own unique way of how you became aware of yourself, and nobody else could ever do that how you did it. And the group of beings that you were like in a pool with, you know what I'm saying? And how y'all like pulled you together, and all these thoughts and feelings, those many spaces that make up who you are, that's you. Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like that's you. And this is literally that. And I made this when I was like in elementary, like first, second grade, third grade and stuff, like first grade or something, or kindergarten. And each bead, you could say like each one of these beads is one of those like those little mini cities or those mini states of being, and then you could say like the whole necklace is a country, even, or a city, and each thing is, you know what I'm saying? It's like space within space. It's that's like some of the highest information you ever gonna be aware of, because but it's not even high. This is just what everybody's doing. It's basic, really. This is basic to me. I just needed a little bit of help of creating some type of anchoring system to bring myself more into reality, to have these type of starting points to just express what I was maybe trying to say, but I didn't know how to say it at certain points. You know what I mean? So now I got good correspondence and good correlations and whatnot. So yeah, like each one of these could be like a person or a being, and everybody come together. Teamwork makes a dream work, and then y'all make like a party or a band. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, you make like an arch, like a band, and all y'all come together, and that's like y'all be like a little mini nation, a band, like like a band. Like, and that's why we got bands in reality, nigga. The guitars and shit, the singer, and everybody got a role and shit. The drummer's not trying to drum and sing and play guitar and do a harmonica and play the cymbals and the shakers and be in the audience and be the road manager. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? If you're not God like that, go sit down in a corner and like learn how to drum first. You know what I mean? To those individuals, there's people that don't even know how to drum yet. They trying to like march to whatever beat that's out here, like whatever drum beat they going along with. Niggas don't even know what a beat is to begin with. Yet they on some beat, their whatever beat they think they making, or most likely it's somebody else's beats that they cultivated in the garden and stuff. So people be like eating the God.gov beats and stuff, and those beats would probably be like, what? Those beats are probably trash. Yeah, those beats are probably trash. Like they probably suck. Some are cool, like having a shower in a bathtub, noises, sound effects and stuff on the beat. A little bathtub sound effects and shit, or like apartment walls. Some it's not all bad. It was like what I'm saying. But it's not like natural. They got like some synthetic shit. Like they got a bunch of synths, a bunch like whole like all they beats be just like synth drums. They don't even know they don't even make no like real beats or nothing. They just like made a bunch of machine sounds that copied the natives. So I'd be like out here like actually taking like experimenting with shit, different little and I'll go bang on a pole or something, bang on some different and make a whole new beat off of sounds and shit out here like live in front of people and stuff on the street for the environment and shit, and like change the whole environment, shift the energy around, bring it to a lighter state of being, a lighter like what I'm saying, more favorable, positive energy for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just some, maybe not everybody, maybe people that don't match that. But I'm just making a point. Like I'll be making beats and shit. Ding 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 ding. Ding 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 ding. Right? Just fucking around and shit. Some people fuck with it. Some people don't. Some people mind their business. Whatever the case may be. It is what it is. But I'm just making a point. People be out here on some like whole other beat in their head, just like on some. It's like a beat for real. Like they get up. All right, money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Yeah, everybody singing that one. Everybody on that beat right now. Money, 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 money. Yeah, a lot of people singing that beat right now. Shit, that's like the only song playing in a lot of people's head right now, over and over and over and over and over again. Money, 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 money. Or you can find me in the club. A whole bunch of just a whole bunch of Nardo Wick songs. What the fuck was that? Dun, 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 dun. What the fuck was that? That's another song too, thumping in people's heads. You try to talk to them, they be like, huh? What the fuck is that? And I'm one of them at times. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what the fuck people are saying, and I'm speaking like some foreign language. It's foreign to them, but it's native to me. And then they think I'm like speaking whatever dialect, whatever the fuck. They be like, huh, what'd you say? They don't even know if I said anything, or maybe they don't got the right ears that match. Certain people got the ears to match, and eyes, you know what I'm saying? It takes ears to see and eyes to hear. So certain people got the eyes and the ears to match, and then maybe the lips to go with it. I'll be thinking about females a lot of times, and those energies and stuff. But as you can see, got like my teal colors in the background, TLC. TLC. But yeah, I'm finna call this a wrap. Finna call this a wrap. Super Bowl was a goddamn, I guess it was cool, whatever. But I wasn't fucking with that Uncle Sam shit. I really don't got no, like, I really don't got no, like, nothing to really say about it, good or bad. But yeah, it was a whole bunch of coonery, a whole bunch of George Cooney, a bunch of George Cooney energies, Cooney Island, like straight New Jersey Cooney Island. Big old Ferris wheel, straight coonery going on the beat, boardwalk. That was the boardwalk. Now I'm actually out here stepping. That's where they try to copy, bruh. People don't even. I'm actually really out here stepping. You see any YouTube shorts and any shit, people dancing, moving down the street like that. They got it from me. They got it from the natives. Niggas was anything you see, it was natives doing it for real in real life, the hardest, like with no validation needed, just being and shit. Like, I don't care if you like me or not. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. This is what life is flowing. This is how life is flowing through me at the moment. And I'm the vessel to show, to be an image of this type of like thought and feeling that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was in the awareness of life type of shit that exists. You're not gonna make me. You're not gonna tell me and act and treat me as if like I don't exist. Like, you just like, all right, get out of here. It's time for you to go now. Time to leave. Just because I'm using my power of speech and I'm using my mind for what I'm supposed to be using it for. A lot of people might be catching offense, or they might feel like I'm cutting them, or you know what I'm saying? They might feel insecure or hurt, or like now they start feeling vulnerable or some shit because maybe what they was wearing was like some type of false layer of who they are, and there was like some type of fabric that they were wearing and shit. You know what I mean? So like when God come through and just like rip you naked, people be mad and shit. You know what I mean? People be mad and shit when God like gotta change your diaper. Like, baby, of course the baby might cry a little bit, might kick and scream a little bit, even throw a fit a little bit. You're trying, it's not all babies like their diaper being changed, but it has to happen. You know what I mean? And I don't even look at people like I'm like that they're like my babies or nothing. I'm just speaking like metaphorically, like at least for myself. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things I know I gotta change and deal with. Just fucking, all right, give birth to, or if I'm giving birth to new things, you know what I mean. That's not, you don't just abandon and neglect this. You know what I'm saying? What you just gave birth to as an idea and a feeling that corresponds to become a mind, a little child, a baby, a gift to the world. And that could be like one of your creative abilities or something. You don't just like put that shit on a back burner, but you also don't like overwater it and oversaturate it either, because that baby might get smothered. You might not be able. You might stunt the growth of that child, type of shit. So, or kill it. You know what I mean? You water plant too much, you might kill it and shit like that. So it's just the growing farmer mind. Being a man and shit, being a farmer, being an agriculture, in tune with nature and shit. But like nowadays, it's not even like nature no more. It's like some synthetic robot shit, ATM machine, just vending machine kind of concept, like just convenience. You know what I mean? It's like no skill involved. People lack originality. People lack skill. People lack creativity. And when there's lack of creativity in the world, you will see that. You will see how that plays out. People being very bored. People now maybe coming in to realize they've been in an idle mind, or they've been in some type of trance or in trance. They might have been in somewhere, somebody else's dream, American dream, or whatever the case be. All kind of things, and then you're gonna start seeing people show their true colors, because now they ain't got nothing to wear as a you know like a cloth, or they ain't got nothing to cover up with. So they gotta be who they actually are. And a lot of people know they ain't shit. That's why they was trying to use things from the begin without them, if even whether they was aware of that or not. Now it's like you can't even hide. Like, you have all the shit in the world, it don't matter. who are you? Like, yeah, who are you as an individual? Like, did you go? Have you like lived a life at all? Have you done anything? Where have you been? Like, what have you traveled? What have you done for people? What have you done for your community? You know what I'm saying? Like, have you done anything? Like, do you work out? Do you like take care of yourself? Have you like healed yourself from injuries and now you got like a story to tell to maybe help others? Like anything? You got anything like anything productive that I could possibly like listen to and you could share with me, and then that could help me, and I might be able to learn something. Even if it's similar things, you might think we do similar shit, but like, do you have a unique way of how you tell that story or tell your story? A lot of people don't got a story. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you work for somebody else's business, you don't even got a storefront. You in somebody else's store. His story. You know, a lot of people in art in his story. Who is he? Who's this God person everybody keep like talking about? Who the fuck? Where is he? Where the fuck is God? Y'all God at? I still have not met your God wherever the fuck y'all think he is. He or she. And that's they mind. They just point to because the masculine energy would have been like the representation of the mind back in the day. So like that's really where people are coming from. The fire, like the heat, you know what I'm saying? The heat. That what makes you feel alive kind of energy and stuff. So a lot of people think God is keeping them alive and shit. And they're not wrong, just people be like giving their power away to the God.gov that like played some mean trickery on people. Like it's cold, bro. It's like not even like you can't even be mad at them. It's just some cold ass game they did, and so people be like, you know what I'm saying, knowing like they got this piece of God that they be experiencing for who they are, but they wherever based upon their stage of development, they might still give that starting point away to some other man or woman. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. A lot of people got their own different reasons. People here in this world, they might know what the fuck going on, but yeah, they still want that Dior or Balenciaga product or whatever. So they just gonna like say fuck it, lie to themselves and pander and go along with whatever script or narrative because they just want that fucking BMW or you know what I'm saying? Like they don't even give a fuck, dude, about the evolution of shit. They just want that goddamn that self-serving desire and shit. And that's where shit be narky in the world and shit. And that's where like the world really be evil at and corrupt because nobody's genuinely in the world for genuine purposes. People just be having self-serving, they own alternative motives and shit. Or yeah, they own like just they own ulterior motives is what I was trying to say. Like they own ulterior motives and shit that really only each individual is gonna be aware of and probably don't even be aware of for themselves, but they spirit be knowing just on some on some spiritual. Everybody be knowing like on some spiritual shit without that language, without words being said and shit. So yeah, it's like it's deep, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, watch out for the Super Bowls. Make sure you don't get with like a one of them good year blimps that might fall out the sky or something. Watch out for the man. I'm not even gonna go into that, but apparently there's been a lot of planes been crashing. I think due to like somebody making a certain type of song about the Dolo the Pilot Man and like somebody trying to like attack Dolo the Pilot Man's character or make a whole bunch of planes crashing. I think and now all of a sudden planes is crashing. Hey, didn't I want to say I made a video at one point recently about the numerology of this year being 2025 and in that fake ass calendar, but that would add up to number 9 and the numerology. 9 is the last number, the ending of things. So I went on a whole like things of, and you think about 9 like Sagittarius, travels and stuff, internal or external, expansion, contraction. At one point, a few before things started really popping off, this was like quote unquote early January of 2025, and I was already predicting like, all right, it's gonna be at the end of travel, and a whole bunch of other things I listed, but end of travel was one of them, which I think is the main one. That's like ninth house energies, traveling, experiences. You know what I'm saying? Expanding, going places. Yeah, they trying to put an end to all that. You know what I mean? So they looked at back at 2020, right? And then what happened after that, right? People needed the COVID, the shots and stuff, just to go on a get just to go anywhere, even during it. Like they weren't just letting people leave. You had to like go through a certain procedure with the TSA and shit at the airports if he was coming in or out of or whatever. Some people were just like on lockdown. That state or that place was like you couldn't even leave until until they started letting people leave and shit. They wasn't letting nobody in. You know what I mean? That's like I Am Legend type of shit. You know what I mean? Resident Evil type of shit. You know what I mean? Hunger Games type of shit. Why as billions of people out here, we just letting a small group of niggas wherever they at, and then they got like a core group of people that ain't shit that believe they shit, or there is some truth to it. It's not all just like wrong. They just people trying to keep order and shit and keep control so things don't completely go out of hand. But or they they was thinking like they were the best ones to be directing life or something. I don't know, bro. Whatever, some fake ass shit they got from after taking the natives and stuff. But don't even know like none of the native practices or what the natives actually just be being. You can't like take some shit and then try to use it and not actually be it. Period. Like period. It's not gonna work. That's fraud. That's why you're not God. You're a fraud. You can't. Nobody could be God like that. And that was the first lie that they told on they said they exposed themselves just by calling themselves God. Like what are you talking about? The fuck is a God, dude? I don't even know what that fucking word is, dude. And I might have the Water God mixtape or something, but that's me using like I'm the I have the creator. I look at that how like God is just create like all of us coming together as creators. Teamwork makes the dream work. All is just nobody. That shit don't even exist. It's not even a thing. It's not even like a human concept. The fuck? You don't even know what it is really. Like you might just don't even go there. Yeah, that's like some shit you just don't even try to figure it out. You know, because it's already got you figured out. Like you're the figurine, bitch. Yeah, like that's how life think. Like life's like you're my bitch. I'm not your bitch. You're my bitch. You're a fucking human. Have a human experience. That's it. Have this human experience and be as such. You try to take it any further than the fucking atmosphere, you're already fucked up going into the clouds and shit. You got these planes and shit flying around every day, wasting fuel and wasting gas, and then you got like it's already bad enough, right? Like you got military jets flying around the hood and flying around in the hood and shit. Like there's airports near, well, there'll be air bases nearby and stuff, but like what's the point? You know what I mean? Helicopters and planes and shit, jets and shit. The fuck? I get it. Maybe foreigners that come over here, they want to maybe take over. You know what I mean? Maybe one day that's why they got jets in the air. So like Arab niggas don't get the like wrong idea, or China man don't get the wrong idea or something, or like African Somalian man or Jamaican Haitian man don't get the wrong idea. Like they could just come over here, start militarizing shit. Is that why they got the? Is that why they really got the jets flying around? Jetsons. Y'all gotta think, man. The fuck? This is like every day is a military war zone. People just think, oh, la, 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 la. No, bitch, you're in a fucking war zone every day out here. We're in the middle of it. The natives are still fighting for their land, even if it's just mentally right now. It's not even like the same physical, like heavy, dense conversion of that shit, but we're still like going through, like, nigga, I'll hit your ass up with a mental, esoteric bow and arrow real quick and change your life. You know what I mean? Probably be the best life you ever have afterwards. You're going to feel like you died, but then after that, you're going to be full of life. Or you're going to learn about life a little bit at that point. You're like, oh, okay. Maybe what I was so heavy about, being so depressed and down about in this death, maybe I don't need to be that so much. You know, like help your ass lighten up a little bit. Get out of that fucking old ass thought and feeling, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being so fucking, you can still do whatever the fucking same thing you was doing. Just I don't know how to explain that, you know, because it wasn't like I was kind of struggling with that too a little bit. I just had to go like, man, let me just live my life though. Let time go by. A lot of people be trying to control shit. See, that's the thing. Like, you gotta stop trying to control shit. You know what I mean? You gotta stop trying to control shit. Period. You know, you gotta stop trying to control shit.
A lot of people be thinking it's like you think you know what's better for you and what's more right for you than your own spirit or your own peace of God, and the overall teamwork makes the dream work. And then that's like you thinking your peace matters out of all existence. Yeah, that's like how selfish for people to be, or anybody to be in that mentality. Like you as this, and you whoever you think you are, and you got all these billions of cells that make you up. Yet people could come to whatever false ass conclusion in their own head that they somehow are important. Like you don't even know who you are when you're a collection of things. Like shut up. Yeah, people need to just like shut the fuck up. Anybody on the internet, like okay, cool, Super Bowl, like, but really, like I'm looking at all that, like shut the fuck up. The fuck is y'all even? What y'all niggas even rapping about and dancing around about? Looking all like frantic, and looking all like, yeah, that's how that shit looked to me. Looking all like somebody else engineered it and formed it and shaped it. That's how it appeared to me. Like nobody was in control. Not even the niggas that put niggas, whoever thought they was in control, putting whoever on the stage and pushing the buttons and pulling the strings. Those no, you string pullers are not even in control. Getting secondhand smoke and shit like that, catching all like little secondhand hand-me-downs and shit, like from Dolo Pilotins and niggas like myself and motherfuckers like myself and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I killed a big ass roach yesterday. I take that back. I know earlier I said I ain't never killed nobody. I didn't kill the flies. I killed a snail one time when I was younger. But yeah, yesterday I killed a roach. The day before that, I killed a roach in that fucking kitchen when I was cleaning. Yeah, I'll kill a roach quick. I'll stomp a roach. I'm not proud of that, but that's like an energy that needs to go. That energy needs to go, not the native shit. The roach energy needs to leave. The big ass invader roach energy needs to go. I will gladly stomp the shit out of that or smash it with a shoe. Blink 182. You bitch. Turn that bug into 9/11. 11/9. Send it to heaven. 7/11. Number 9. End of your life. Non-existence. That's where y'all niggas is creating some type of synthetic, fake ass heaven, artificial melanin talk. What is that? I don't get it. Must have been a lot of blood rushing to your melon. What about the rest of your body? Did you forget it? No, I'm done. That's bars.